The County Clash, the Haywood County Championship, the red and the black and the gold, the T versus the P. Hell, there's even a country song written about it. Located only 9 miles apart with a rivalry that goes back to 1922, 66 by modern standards. Nothing turns up the temperature in Haywood County more than when these two high schools face off. The Pisgah Bears host the Tuscola Mountaineers, and with both teams' aces on the bump, this game will surely be a mountain matchup to remember.
Baseball University of the Blue Ridge welcomes you to the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. I'm Hunter Street, and that was Ryan Cook, and we're live along the banks of the Pigeon River for a Mountain 8 4A 5A conference matchup between the Tuscola Mountaineers and the Pisgah Bears.
Both 4A?
Both 4A.
All right. Well, it is that time of year where the athletic fields get packed when these two get together. The cab pickup trucks are already starting to park out there in left field. I'm sure that all their beverages are clean and healthy out there. And
a lot of H2O.
We're going to be rocking the park here all night with y'all because, man, this is one of our favorite games of the year to do. I don't think there will ever be a season of the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming broadcast where we do not feature this game. Again, sometimes it's the football teams that get the most attention with this rivalry. They've been known to pack the stadium with 10,000 plus, but the baseball energy, the emotions are going to run just as high tonight on the diamond. Hunter, this is a pretty storied rivalry. Both these coaches,
they've been in it for a while.
But good backgrounds, and again, we're a small town, so much so that both these guys got the same last name, right?
Just spelled a little differently.
Yep, no relation. But we're going to tell you a little bit about these coaches as we get into the Meineke pregame show here. For Tuscola, is Zach Shepard. It's his 9th year at Tuscola, 7th as the head coach. He was actually a Mountaineer graduate back in 2006 and became an assistant coach right after graduating. He actually did a couple years over at Asheville Christian as well, I believe, and was assistant coach over at Sycamore High School in Nashville, Tennessee, too, before taking over as the head coach here. His father, Billy Shepard, was also the Tuscola head coach from 96 to 2008, so Tuscola Mountaineer history runs deep in the Shepard family. Now, on the other side here for the Bears, it's Harold Shepard, the counterpart. It's his 17th year at Pisgah. He was a Franklin High School graduate back in 1989. That's where him and Coach Greenwood of Franklin got a good relationship, a good friendship they built. He started the middle school program at Bethel and Canton in 2001. He was the conference coach of the year here at Pisgah in 2014 and 2021. Regional coach of the year in 2014. He sent 36 players to college, had 1 drafted pro. That's Mason Fox. 13 playoff appearances in 16 years. And again, got to remind y'all that he helped break a 47-year drought. I believe 1964 was the last year. Or does that say 67 out there? I think it was like 1967, 1964, one of those years back mid-60s. Pisgah didn't make the playoffs again until I think it was that 2000 and on. They got it's a 2010, I think it was. So again, just a long absence of good baseball, and Coach Shepard able to put those middle school programs together and have it roll over into the high school level. And man, they've been churning out talent ever since. Yeah, I'll tell you, both these guys are mainstays in their community, and it's going to be a heck of a ball game tonight. We'll see what Shepard leads the flock to victory. So, you like that?
Oh, want to show the well, you got lambs coming, so maybe you're a shepherd too, vicariously through them.
I'll say we homestead. I actually left today. Left my wife in a precarious situation. She is at home. I think my brother-in-law stopped by to help, but our sheep are giving birth today. I think that one of them was starting as we drove out here today. But anyway,
the coaches poll going into the preseason. The Bears picked second, Mountaineers picked fifth, but the Bears had 4 of the 8 first-place votes. So basically a tie at first, but West held out the edge in the average voting aspects. Franklin not far behind. Smokey picked high, not performing up to the coach's expectations.
Now,
Brevard, though,
I will say, though, on any given night, these teams are still able to beat one another. We saw that with East Henderson taking out Brevard the other day. But these coaches' polls all out of whack, especially with Tuscola being the best shot right now at catching Pisgah. In fact, tonight's game, this might be it. If Pisgah can win, they might have the sun set on the rest of the Mountain 8.
well, you want to talk about something that's out of whack? That's our Mountain Power Rankings. They're brought to you by House of Power. Are you looking for one-on-one lessons for hitting, pitching, and catching? Strength and conditioning programs to develop explosive power. Facility memberships you can train on your own schedule, and cage rentals for individuals and your teams. And you need to get with House of Power, founded by former Clemson Tiger and professional baseball player Sheldon Reed. Conveniently located down in Mills River. Check them out online at hophendersonville.com to learn more. That is hophendersonville.com. And I think we got the top two set, barring a crazy Friday.
I'll be honest. Even if Pisgah lost this game today,
AC wins, but I don't see either of those.
Yeah,
happening.
You're right. If AC beats TC tonight and Pisgah loses, I can justify a switch. But
North Wilkes losing to Allegheny.
That was one of the bigger upsets of the season.
Christ School just lost today. They got 10-run rolled by Metrolina.
Oh, so Metrolina's a good team.
A bit. Brevard, tough loss to East. Was that 7-6?
Yep, they got each other again tonight. Asheville, I think they showed down with Anka again this evening. Tuscola, they're playing way above the expectations. I thought they had enough depth to compete this year. If they win tonight, that could bolt them up to maybe number 4 or 5 in these rankings.
Polk took a tough loss, number 3 in the Foothills 10, East Rutherford, and Andrews currently playing Murphy. They're 2-0 on the week. So we were talking coming down. I think that bottom 3 I was trying to figure out the shakeup, but I don't know if there are some teams below them that can sneak their way in based on like Tuscola losing 2 to the number 2 team. How can you justify them getting?
If East Henderson wins tonight, maybe 2 versus Brevard.
Those are the only 2 that are really
West
there.
Wilkes playing a lot better. Again, we're going to be out in Wilkes County for the final week of the season for their Mountain Valley semi-final, so we can show you 4 of their best teams to try to wrap them into this Western North Carolina narrative.
Well, our Foothills 10 are presented by Peak Performance Vault. Over at Peak Performance Vault, they believe every athlete has the potential to reach new heights and achieve their peak performance. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting, we provide a state-of-the-art training environment for baseball, softball, and golf that combines modern technology with personalized coaching. Located down at 352 West Main in Far City. Give them a call at 828-289-1592 or peakperformancevault@gmail.com. And unless, barring some crazy losses today in the Northwest and the Western Foothills, I think we got a new number 1.
Yep, Alexander Central, especially North Lincoln, dropping 2 this week. 1 to East Lincoln, 1 to South Point. Again, good competition, but Alexander Central, they've been rolling in that conference. Cherryville definitely going to get leapfrogged by Burns. We'll see where that all shakes out.
Well, Crest and South Point probably leapfrogged them too.
I have not checked in on their matchups this week. I know that they are playing each other next week. That's a game we're looking at attending. South Caldwell, St. Stephen's, Watauga, they're going to have to make some moves in that Northwestern if they want to climb either up or onto this Foothills 10.
Birds might go from 10 to 5, honestly.
Yep, I'm thinking, what did Crest do this week? Do they have a soft schedule?
I think they had a soft schedule. I still think it's justifiable to put them over Cherryville.
Now, Gaston Christian, I believe they beat, was it Metrolina? And that was the one Christ School just lost to.
Woo!
Now look, Metrolina is a very good team. Charlotte Christian whooped them up pretty good the other day, but still, Gaston Christian's probably going to bump up here a little bit.
Again,
And I'll say Charlotte Christian plays Christ School tomorrow. Metrolina and Charlotte Christian back to back. This is kind of what we ran into at Christ School last year. They're a good team, but they have to beat some of these top level private school teams to jump up these rankings a little bit too. Player of the week. So the Good Iced Tea Player of the week is Jaron Fry. They're going to need him tonight. They're playing TC, but last week in the Myrtle Beach tournament down there in South Carolina, he was 8 for 15. And you see it there. He hit for the cycle on April 10th versus Hedgeville. That's a good team out of West Virginia. 5 ribbies, 6 runs on the evening. Got a chance to see Jaron live on Tuesday. Gave him his iced tea, his certificate. Great young man. We hope that they have a better day today than they did Tuesday, but I hope he's enjoying some good iced tea.
Jaron had a good week, and we're sending him some good iced tea. We already sent it to him. Whether it's original Carolina Peach, Zesty Maple, or the Tropical Island Time. All you have to do is brew, chill, relax, and repeat. Earl the mascot loves it, and so do we. Order a pouch today. Comes with 10 bags for 10 gallons of delicious Salem black tea over at goodicedtea.com. On Facebook, Instagram, and X. Well, 2025 was pretty good to both of these programs coming in.
Yep, we're going to give you a quick review on 2025 and let you know how they're doing in 26. So, and again, I don't even know how many people are going to be tuning in tonight to hear this because everybody in Haywood County looks like they're here. So, but it's going to be a good one. These teams last year, Tuscola 21-6, 11-1. They were the Mountain 7 champs in the old Mountain 7 3A. They were the three seed in the 3A West. They beat Ashe County 10-0, Stuart Kramer 9-1, AC Reynolds 5-0 before falling at home to North Davidson 8-1. Pisgah, they were 11-11, 7-5. That was good for a tie in the Mountain 7 3A with North Henderson last year for second place. They were a 27 seed in the 3A West, and they lost in the first round to Reynolds 9-8 in a one-run gem. That was a fun game I remember last year. I think they went back and forth, and maybe I'm wrong, but did that go to extra innings?
It might have, I think. We were watching it on not Press, Game Changer coming back. So, feel bad for the Bears having to face off with a strong Reynolds team out of the gate. But this year, I mean, they won't get any revenge, different classifications, but Pisgah's set going into
potentially
this
for
year
a bye.
So, a very good
say
bye.
a little bit about Tuscola first. They're 11-7, 6-2 in conference. Definitely outplaying the expectations as you saw in that coaches poll. They're in second place, and honestly, they're the best chance right now to anybody catching Pisgah. It's a must-win game for Tuscola. If Pisgah takes it tonight, that may be it. West Henderson, Brevard, they're sitting there with 3 losses, so they're watching this game closely, especially with West playing Pisgah next week. A Tuscola win and a chance for West Henderson to give them their 3rd loss next week is the only way I see this getting interesting. Tuscola, they started the season off. Is that a win against Reynolds or a loss against Reynolds 5-4? Started off 2-4. They're swept by Crest, swept by Irwin, swept by North Henderson. Or is this year? I don't know if this year. That might be last year. But anyway, off to a better start. Let's just leave it at that. Last week, they had a 2-1 win against Kings Mountain. They lost to Crest in the semifinals, 6-2. They swept North Henderson. They swept Smoky Mountain. They split with West. I get it now. My bad. Finished 2-1 in that Shelby Easter tournament last week. This week, 5-4 win over Franklin. Lost to Pisgah on Tuesday, 12-0. Looking for revenge tonight.
Well, I want to emphasize that 2-1 win. We watched the finish of that while we were setting up for the Crest out Caldwell game, and that 2-1 finish over Chase, final in 8, walking off the Trojans over at Keeter Stadium.
That was the 3rd place. They got the bronze in that one. So Pisgah 12-1, 8-0 in the conference. That only loss against Madison, but they've swept everybody else. 5-1 at home, current 3-game winning streak. They've had 2 extra inning conferences this year, beating Franklin 5-2 and Smoky Mountain 8-4.
Well, notice how in those extra inning games in 8 innings, they're both on the road, and they're both scoring more than one run at the top of the 8th inning. They scored 4 here, or at least 4, and they scored at least 3.
Yep. So some late inning dramatics. The offense has been a lot sharper this year for the Bears. Last week, it was only the one game. It was a 7-4 win against West Henderson. This week, they took Tuscola out. Tuesday, 12-0, beat Smoky in that extra inning, 8-inning game yesterday. And then, again, last game of the week here against Tuscola, and it's a big one. A little shocking on Tuesday for Pisgah to get ahead so early and then stay ahead 12-0. So I know Tuscola is definitely hoping for a different outcome this evening.
We're showing you the Mountain 8 4A 5A standings right now. If West, the preseason favorite, wants a chance, they need a Tuscola win tonight. They also need another Tuscola loss because they split on the year, and that had to go to some crazy tiebreaker. So Pisgah firm in the driver's seat for the Bears. Brevard also in that same boat as Pisgah. Very good for them to get preseason pick 7th.
What's your actual conference record for East Henderson there? I know that ain't right. 8-8. Is that supposed to be 3-3? I think
That's
they're 3-3. But East Henderson's kind of a wild card. They're playing better as of late. They beat North on Friday, beat Brevard to start this week. they've been dealing with a little bit on the injury bug as well. Brevard slipping a little bit here the last couple weeks, but they're still set to finish strong.
Oh, I'm stupid. I flipped them. They're 4 and 5. And they're 8 and 8
4 and 5
overall.
in conference, 8 and 8 overall.
Dude,
That
typing
makes
out
sense.
these out at 2 a.m. is not for the weary. Let me tell you what.
It ain't bad for a two-man show here. So, pregame sponsor, want to thank Meineke. Again, Meineke is the pregame sponsor for the Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series with numerous locations in Western North Carolina. There's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced. So whether it's oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires, wheels, or AC, you name it, Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina.
Well, it sounds like we're at a football game. Scorpion playing right now.
Yep, that crowd keeps growing out there. How's it going?
I didn't know if you were live.
Oh, we're live, but we can shout out the intuitive bookkeeping.
Intuitive Business Solutions.
Intuitive Business Solutions. Now, Miss Webb, she said she's a lot like 828 service. She's low key. She's helping us out tonight.
I just want to help.
But, this thing doesn't happen without our sponsors, so we appreciate the heck out of you. Ran in the Landry before the game. I know y'all are hoping for a much better result than 12-0 on Tuesday. So as a Mountaineer fan, I'm sure you guys know what's on the line tonight. Like, you're the last hope to take Pisgah down in the conference here. So we like underdogs. We try not to be biased. But
and I were talking about it would really hurt Tuscola all the way around without winning tonight.
This goes back to 1922. So, again, this is in their blood. So I get it. But we appreciate the heck out of you. And we're going to be putting good vibes on you. So we'll see if we'll see it. Well, I'll say good vibes for Tuscola because we love upsets here. So don't let the Pisgah Bear fans know I'm saying that, though. All right, here we go. Let's tell you a little bit about where are they now. Tuscola and Pisgah have sent a lot of players to college in the last couple seasons.
That's a three-headed monster, and we don't want to forget about Tyler.
Yep. So Tuscola last year graduated Evan Connor, Colt Nelson, Tyler Williams, and Amos Rich graduated early this year. Evan, he's at Gaston College, one of the best JUCOs in the country. Colt is over at Wingate. He's pitching a little bit over there, too, in that strong D2 program. Tyler, up at one of the most winningest JUCOs in the state at Surrey. And Amos, he's a Tar Heel. Now, that was a strong 25 class. And got some good news. The Waynesville Howlers, the new summer collegiate team that'll be playing right here in Haywood County, will feature Evan, Colt, and Tyler this summer. So go get a little nostalgia. Make sure you go check out the Waynesville Howlers playing in the Old North State League this summer. They're going to be playing over at Tuscola's field. And now I'm going to mispronounce this like I always do, so I'm going to let you pronounce it. Lake
Junaluska.
Lake Junaluska. That's where they're going to be playing this summer. Noah Stepp was a graduate in 2024. He's at Rockingham. He's been a great JUCO prospect down there, pitching, playing shortstop. Actually one of the best hitters in the conference this year, too, for Rockingham. And then Trent Turner, at Western Carolina University for his last year. Trent, I think he's a draft-eligible guy or should be drafted. He's one of my favorite pro prospects to track out here in the mountains. He was a legend here at Tuscola. On the flip side, Pisgah Bears, Walker Fox, he's out there with Trent at Western Carolina. He graduated in 24, did a year at Mars Hill, then transferred to the Catamounts. Walker has been having an excellent lights-out season at Western. Carson Allison graduated last year. He's at Bluefield State playing for Scott Considine. That's a D2 program up there. The Dukes, did I get that right? I remember I was botching that last year.
Yeah, the Dukes.
Now, Ford Jones, he's a freshman at Brevard. You might remember him, the Submariner. He was a Pisgah relief pitcher last season. Eli Rigsby, he's a 24 grad. He's at his second season at Rockingham. His younger brother Owen will be at first base this evening. Titus Bleckley is at Mid-Atlantic Christian University, putting records up out there. He's going to graduate as one of their top hitters in school history. And Levi Medford is finishing up his final season of eligibility at Anderson after 4 years at King. And Levi will be an assistant coach on that Waynesville Howlers team this summer as well. A few prospects that we want you to keep an eye on throughout the game, whether you're a fan or a college coach tuning in. For Tuscola, tonight's starting pitcher, Mason Harrell, he's one of the best in our Mountain Region 8, very underrated, one of the top arms coming out. He'll be at Rockingham next season. And graduating on the Pisgah side, going to college, 2 Guilford Tech Community College commits. That's Maddox Wright. He'll be at, I believe, at shortstop tonight. Also in relief pitch, could be available in relief. And Boone Carver, the starting catcher, we found him before the game, gave him his Camwood Bats Player of the Game that he earned back on March 31st in the game versus Franklin. And that is the great news. We have our new batch of Camwood Player of the Game trophy bats, and they look beautiful. Shout out to Mitchell Whitener for putting these together up at Camwood. Went with the natural tone, the American flag Camwood label, the blue and the red on our label. Man, these look great, and you'll see some on social media flying by over the next couple days. All right, let's tell you about some of the underclassmen, uncommitted seniors that we need you to keep an eye on tonight for Tuscola. Uncommitted senior Eli Freeman and Sean Gillian. Sean will be at first base. Eli will be in right field. Juniors, want to shout out Isaiah Hyatt, even though he is out for the year with an injury, but he made state games last year. And third baseman August Fama, who'll be hitting cleanup for Tuscola. Those are the 27s we want you to keep an eye on. For the 28 class, got a good group here. Got catcher Jonas Jones, got shortstop Landry Webb. So, again, some solid 28s. Coach Shepard is also telling me about one of their pitchers. He's been down on JV, but somebody's feeling really good about is Corbin Kirkpatrick. So, you probably won't see him tonight, but another name to put on the docket. For the Pisgah Bears, one senior as Jackson Lehman, who's uncommitted. He'll be in the outfield this evening. And then a good junior class to keep an eye on. Tonight's starting pitcher, Zach Westrup. We think he's a D1 guy. We know that there's some D1 coaches that think he's a D1 guy. And Zach might be making a decision soon. We'll see. But he's going to be lights out tonight. He's been 89-90 for most of the year. You'll see Landon right out there at third base. He will not be eligible to pitch tonight because he met his pitch count on Tuesday in that 12-0 shutout. Landon, also a 90-mile-per-hour arm for Coach Harold Shepard, but he can swing it. He's got a couple bombs on the year. He'll be at third base. I brag on this kid almost too much. He's my favorite right-handed hitter in the mountains. That's Isaiah Mintz. He's in center field this evening. You have Zane Wilson in the outfield. Again, Zane transferred here from Ohio. He's a junior. Swinging a good bat right now. And then not in the starting lineup, but we are a big fan of Mason Young. He's the 10th man right now for Pisgah. Good hitting outfielder. He'll be getting his shot. And I'll tell you, like we said earlier, both these coaches just been churning out college talent, maybe more than any other program outside of T.C. Robertson over the last decade. It's time to head into the Meineke Fleet Keys of the Game next as we get prepared here.
Well, what
game.
makes Meineke the smart choice for your fleet? Solutions to meet the needs of any fleet, including fleet leasing, self-managed, and rental agencies. Meineke is proud to sponsor the Meineke Fleet Keys to the Game.
Well, first key to the game for Tuscola, we're just going to put fight or flight, right? It's that fight or flight reflex, like backs against the wall. This is really it, in my opinion. If Pisgah wins, I think the conference is over. If Tuscola wins, it makes the narrative that much more interesting. So fight or flight, it's gut check time for Tuscola. They're the only ones that I see challenging Pisgah at the moment. And if it's going to happen tonight or if it's not happening at all, it's really going to come down to the whole team buying in and having that brawl mentality that you hear about when you talk to the old-timers here about how these Pisgah and Tuscola boys will meet up at the line and fight it out, you know, that old-school mountain grit. And I'm going to tell you, everybody's got to be bought in for Tuscola. It's got to be a gang fight tonight because if one person is not checked in, passionate enough, or focused, and they don't bring that bare-knuckle attitude, this thing's as good as over. So if there's a weak link, Pisgah's going to find it. If Tuscola comes out strong and united and ready to brawl, it's on. Second key to the game is Spin Doctor. No, not that 1990s pop group. We're talking about Mason Harrell because he's the ace of this Tuscola team. And if you've ever broken down his metrics, he spins it better than anybody with that four-seam fastball and that slider curveball combo. And he's going to create interesting tunnels. He's going to find his pitch shapes. He's going to create a lot of swing and miss. But he's going to have a outstanding game tonight to put these Pisgah Bears into hibernation. all things considered, I don't like playing for the strikeouts, right? I'm not, as a pitching coach, I don't teach my guys to always play for the strikeout, but I actually think that's what Harold needs to do tonight. I need to see 10-plus Ks. I need to see him stand neck and neck with Zach Wester when it comes to limiting contact. For Pisgah, first key of the game, the sun sets in the Wester. If Wester has his A game tonight, it could be good night for Tuscola and the rest of the Mountain 8. However, Wester's had to pitch an extra inning in that extra inning W the other night versus Smokey. He stayed under 30 pitches, but that pitching appearance could be a wild card. We'll see where his stamina is, where his energy is. But if he pitches the contact early, keeps that pitch count down, and then ramps it up and starts going for the strikeout more in the third, fourth inning, I think that Pisgah can pull away mid-game. Key number 2, be unbearable, especially on offense. Pisgah's bats have woken up offensively this year. Since we saw them shellac Franklin 13-3 at the end of March there, the Bears have been averaging 9 runs per game. If that type of offense shows up again tonight, it's going to be tough for Tuscola facing Wester on the bump because this kid's 90-91. 9 runs would be great, but heck, they only need to give Wester maybe 3 or 4 to win this one and secure the conference. But we'll see if that offense is unbearable to Tuscola or not. Well, Tuscola finishing up IO. Our start time tonight probably going to be pushed past 7 o'clock, 6:56 right now. We haven't had a manager's meeting or a lineup or a national anthem yet, so we still got some time. Game time weather tonight. I'll get a reading for you here. 78 degrees. It was up to, I want to say it was up to 83, 84 earlier. They got the ice cream truck out here, so I know some of the young kids were enjoying cooling off with a nice ice cream cone. Concessions always grand here at Canton. They had spinach Alfredo last year, some barbecue nachos last time we were here. So if you're coming by the game this evening, man, bring a couple bucks and get yourself some good things to eat because they got the food trucks out here too. They got a barbecue spot. So, man, I love this environment. This is something I would love to see Western North Carolina try to recreate at all their programs. Always a good crowd in Haywood County. And again, I want to mention that Haywood County, that new Haywood County summer collegiate team, the Waynesville Howlers, going to be playing out of the Tuscola baseball stadium there at Lake Junaluska. Probably botched that again without Hunter here to correct me. But it's not a Waynesville or Tuscola specific team. This is for all of Haywood County, all of Western North Carolina. So they're looking for businesses, local businesses that want to sponsor their games too. We're going to have their general manager, Bradley Pace, stop by, I believe, in the second inning to speak with us and speak with the audience tonight about that team, what they expect, the roster. Again, we told you Evan Connor, Colt Nelson, Tyler Williams, all going to be on that team this summer. But again, Coach Pace going to stop by in the second inning to speak some Howlers baseball. Now, I think that's a good name, the Waynesville Howlers. However, if you know your tradition, I like the idea of calling them the Millers, but that's just me. So, anyway. Yeah, we got some folks, some fans up there in left field. They said they see us up there. We see them too. I dig it, man. That's what Haywood County baseball is all about, man. Getting up on the hill.
You know what? If
keeping that H2O up in them cups. I know everybody's being responsible
out there.
If
I would have had this in high school and I wasn't playing, I definitely would have brought a TV. We brought a TV to a football game once and tailgated. I would bring a TV to a baseball game, watch this, tailgate, have a grill going.
I mean, in my opinion, now look, I'm from Western Maryland. It's had a very similar feel to Western North Carolina with the Piedmont and the mountains. But we would play a team up in Frederick, which is the easternmost ridge of the Blue Ridge Mountains. They're called Linganore. And every time we played Linganore, they would pull a huge crowd of trucks out to left center field. My best friend growing up, his name's Dave Dornberger. He was center fielder, great baseball player. Hated playing out there, right? The better the hitter, the deeper you got to play. They would terrorize him and any other outfielder. So I'd like that. I like that kind of stuff. So for all those Pisgah fans out there in left field, be rowdy tonight. Let those Tuscola left fielders and center fielders know what neighborhood they're in right now, because that is good community baseball right there. I love it when people show up. So, because I'm sure they did it to y'all out at their place too. So,
They always do.
Yep, but definitely want to thank all our sponsors tonight. Really happy to have the Howlers on board. We got, yeah, give me that card. I'm just going to go ahead and shout them all out early while we're wasting some time here. But our home team sponsors tonight, we got the 828 Service Group. Love them. You know what they do. We got Prince Boat Docks, reminding you that pontoon sales, right? Pontoon rentals out there at Lake Fontana. The weather's getting warmer. Take your family out. Take your girl out for a night or a day out on the lake. Paddle boats, pontoons, do some fishing. But Prince Boat Docks, want to thank them for their sponsor. Western North Carolina C10 shop. So if you're a Chevy guy, right, who needs Ford? Don't look at my truck.
Down on Road Dead.
But if you're a Chevy fan, you're going to want to go with the C10 shop restoration. We want to thank Catalucci Dental, who they're sponsoring both teams tonight. They don't have any loyalty, any specific loyalty to the Haywood County teams. They love both Tuscola and Pisgah. So I want to thank Catalucci Dental Group. I want to thank Intuitive Business Solutions, who you saw earlier. Oh, we got Mr. Pace here. We were just talking about you. So Mr. Pace, Bradley Pace, general manager of the Waynesville Howlers, is going to hop in with us in the second inning. He's got some good materials for us to go over. And again, we already mentioned that they are looking for business sponsors. So again, just like we're thanking our sponsors, community baseball doesn't happen without the local businesses. So again, if you've sponsored any of our broadcasts in the past, we encourage you to sponsor the Waynesville Howlers this year. So Coach Pace is going to hop on with us in a little bit. Well, Hunter, I think we got some good keys to the game. I think we got good vibes in the stands. It's going to get rowdy. That's the best kind of baseball. So trying to think about our schedule next week. So tentatively, we're planning to be in where is that? Cleveland? It's not Cleveland County on Thursday, right? South Point Crest is at. So I think we're going to be in Gaston County on Thursday for Crest versus South Point. So Coach McFarland, Coach Wise is going to host us down there. And then Friday, this one's going to be fun. I hope y'all do tune in for this one. We're going to try to do our one Smoky Mountain Conference game of the year. We've been patient with this one, seeing how it shakes out. We're watching Andrews versus Murphy this evening. If Andrews wins next Friday, their game versus Hayesville is essentially setting up to be the Smoky Mountain Conference Championship game. So tentatively, Friday, Hayesville at Andrews. We're going to go out there and see what we can find. We know Jackson Sellers of Hayesville. He's a stud. He's probably going to be the MVP of that conference. He'll be at Caldwell next year. But we're going to go see what Andrews is all about. The only undefeated team left in Western North Carolina, with North Lincoln and North Lincoln losing and Cherryville losing. Andrews, now granted, not the toughest schedule. They beat Copper Basin last night, who's I think only got 3 or 4 wins on the year. They beat IC Imagine, which I don't even know what that is. I think they may just go out there and do interpretive baseball dance or something. They're beating the North Georgia homeschool team. But they opened my eyes, and I decided to put them on the top 10 as number 10 in the rankings when they swept Swain a couple weeks ago. So I had to give them some love. Swain, a good mountain team. But, again, we're watching that game closely tonight. A couple finals for you. Out of the Smoky Mountain, Swain County, as we mentioned, they just beat Rosman 12-1. Hiawassee Dam and Hayesville matching up right now. I can probably tell you who's going to win that one. Anything else? We got Christ School shut out by Metrolina 10-0 today. Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy wins 10-0. I don't even know what conference they're in this year.
The one with Christ the King and all those.
Are they? So the Lincoln Charter?
I think.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Charles Wells Conference.
Okay.
For tonight's game,
I think that's it for early
Tuscola
games.
Mountaineers
We'll get back to you with
versus
some
the Pisgah.
updated scores here in a little bit.
let's
But
make
we're going to
tonight's
go ahead and
lineups.
sign off for a second.
First for the
Let the
Mountaineers.
PA announcer
Pitching, leading
introduce
off,
the
number
starting
6,
lineups
Mason
and
Farrell.
bring you the national anthem, and then we will be back
Playing left
right
field, number
before
8,
first
Ian.
pitch with the starting lineups and
Awesome.
defensive alignments as well.
Playing first base, number 9, Sean Gilliland.
The third baseman, number 15, August Fama. Playing right field, number 5, Eli Freeman. Shortstop, number 55, Landry Webb. The catcher, number 3, Jonas Jones. The designated hitter, number 10, Cameron Hall. Playing second base, number 18, Bryson Matthews. Playing center field, number 12, Elijah Hampton. And also, number 1, Bryce Ferguson. Now the lineup for your Pisgah Bears. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 4, Maddox Wright. The second baseman, number 10, Braden Surrey. Center field, number 14, Isaiah Mintz. The catcher, number 8, Boone Carver. Playing third base, number 13, Landon Wright. The left fielder, number 9, Zane Wilson. Tonight's starting pitcher, number 5, Zach Wester. Playing first base, number 18, Owen Rigsby. Playing right field, number 6, Jackson Lehman. Tonight's Pisgah reserves, number 1, Mason Young. Number 2, Bryn Harden. Number 7, Colby Woods. Number 11, Tanner Nichols. Number 3, Alex Brindley. And number 17, Fane Barnett. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able and remove your hats as we honor America in the playing of our national anthem.
Job.
Sometimes if you turn your Bluetooth off and back on, reset your Bluetooth connection, it'll come up quicker and easier. See if you get a pitch reading on the first pitch. It's connected because it went to spin. It'll either measure spin rate or
I think I need to buy that. Not yours, but buy the same thing.
When he gets done, it's going to be for sale.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, you may have one by then. But
Well, I mean, I like my stalker, but I like that one just because of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I had this at every game, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm just a dummy. I didn't even know that existed until I brought it up that one time. So.
Yeah, it's big.
All right. Well, let's hop into some defensive alignments and starting lineups for y'all. For Pisgah, it's going to be Zane Wilson, Isaiah Mintz, and Jackson Lehman from left to right in the outfield. In the infield, Landon right at third, Maddox right at short, Braden Surrett at second base and Owen Rigsby at first. The battery mates will be Zach Wester throwing to Boone Carver. Starting lineup for your Tuscola Mountaineers, it's going to be number 7, Mason Harrell leading off. He's also your starting pitcher. Number 8, Ian Omsler. He'll be in left field. Number 3 hitter is number 9, Sean Gillian. He'll be at first base. Cleanup spot, number 15, August Fama at third. Batting fifth, number 5, Eli Freeman, the right fielder. Landry Webb, wearing number 55, will be your shortstop in the 6th spot. Jonas Jones, that's a good baseball name. We were talking about making a good baseball names, all best baseball names in Western North Carolina list. Jonas Jones will be on there. He's catching tonight, batting 7th. Cameron Hall doing the DHing for Bryson Matthews, who will be at second base. So again, Cameron Hall will be batting 8th. And in the 9th spot is Elijah Hampton in center field. Want to thank our first inning sponsor, Bloom Patch Farms, located in Henderson County. Bloom Patch Farms is a specialty micro farm dedicated to rare and extraordinary dahlias. They offer rare dahlia cuttings, premium tubers, healthy potted plants, seasonal bouquet subscriptions, and custom floral work. First pitch of the game is a curveball, strike 1 from Zach Wester. Bloom Patch Farm ships cuttings and tubers nationwide throughout the year, so make sure you get on that website, bloompatchfarmllc.com. Again, bloompatchfarmllc.com. Bloom Patch Farm, rare blooms grown with intention. Zach Wester, 0-2 to start here, going right after his counterpart pitcher, Mason Harrell, who's in that leadoff spot. Trying to beat Mason Harrell with his own medicine. The spins, that one coming in at 27.98. Holy moly, that's a lot of spin. Goes back to the fastball in the outside corner. They say ball, 88 miles per hour on the heat. So just missing outside, so 0-2 to 2-2. Nice job by Harrell to extend the AB. And there it is on the corner, 89, 24, 39 on the spin. So a 2400 spinner. Man, that's a good one. So 89 on the fastball. Again, you've heard me brag on Zach Wester before. He reminds me kind of that Tim Lincecum model. Very flexible, almost double jointed in some capacity. Very hard worker, good recovery specialist, meaning like after long days of pitching, he's got a good workout routine, takes care of that arm. The rubber band man is what I like to call him. Fastball's been as high as 92, but sits more of the 88 to 90 range. There will be more in there. Swing and a line drive that's going to hang up there for Mintz. Nice job playing the sun out there. Very tough battling that big ball of fire in the sky. Got to mention, too, that Mason Harrell strikeout was a called strike 3. That's a Burlett Painting. Painting the corners with Burlett, strike 3. Omsler out there making a nice running play. That is a BH Granning glove work play. So every time you see a nice little web gem, that will be brought to you by BH Granning Landscaping. We'll tell you a little bit more about our in-game sponsors later in the broadcast. Sean Gillian. So Sean, a uncommitted senior, did a great job on the bump the other day when we saw him at Chase, or at Shelby against Chase in that 2-1 extra innings walk-off. I think he could pitch in college. I'm not sure what his ambitions are. Good frame, might be a good JUCO guy. He'll be at first base this evening. They're asking him to hit tonight. So I believe he pitched in their game versus Franklin this week, so I do not think he'll be available to throw. Ooh, kind of an in-between swing and a miss there. Strike 3. So 2 Ks in the inning for Wester. No hits, no runs, no errors. For your Pisgah Bears, coming to the plate will be Maddox Wright, Brandon Surrett, Isaiah Mintz. And we'll get you a full defensive alignment for Tuscola and that starting lineup for Pisgah in just a moment. But first, we want to thank our home team sponsors tonight. Again, 828 Service Group, Prince Boat Docks, and WNC C10 Shop. Thank you so much. You are the businesses that sponsor the time that we put towards marketing the game to college coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for those Bear prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media afterwards. travel and broadcast expenses as well. So again, could not do it without our sponsors and those home team sponsors for your Pisgah Bears. Again, 828 Service Group, you know them. Prince Boat Docks, again, reminding you that the weather is getting nicer. Get out to Lake Fontana, get yourself a pontoon boat, bring the whole family out, bring your lady out, have a good evening in the sun on the lake. And then West North Carolina C10 shop for all our Chevrolet fans out there. They bring you restoration. So gotta love it when you drive down the street and you see an old car that's been restored and brought up to speed on. And they always have that little historic license plate, you know. So again, C10, that's what they're all about. All right, Tuscola, how they lining up out there in the outfield? It's Ian Omsler in left field, Elijah Hampton in center, Eli Freeman in right. Across the infield, August Pham at third, Landry Webb at short. Double play partners Bryson Matthews and Sean Gilliand at first. The battery mates, Mason Harrell throwing to Jonas Jones. Starting lineup for your Pisgah Bears. It'll be Maddox right at shortstop, Braden Surratt, the second baseman, Isaiah Mintz. We think he's the best right-handed hitter in the mountains. He's in center field. Boone Carver, the Guilford Tech commit in the cleanup spot. He's the catcher. Landon Wright, he's at third base. Zane Wilson, he'll be in left field. Zach Wester, the pitcher, batting seventh. Owen Rigsby at first base. And then the 9th spot is Jackson Lehman in right field. So Maddox Wright recently committed to Guilford Tech. He'll be joining teammate Boone Carver there next fall.
Your shortstop, number 4, Maddox Wright.
Maddox, a right-handed pitcher and a very good one. Reminds me a lot of Dustin May as my comp there. Obviously not there yet, but I'm an old school scout. I was trained by guys that were scouting players in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I'm all about trying to see what's it going to be in 10 years for these guys, 5 years, 10 years. And Maddox Wright is a guy I think could play baseball for a long time if he really locks in, especially on the bump. But he's got a good left-handed swing. He can play multiple positions. He's at shortstop, but he'll tell you he's probably better in the outfield. He's a great first baseman as well with that height. But athletic enough that when Zach Wester pitches, he's the one that they're going to put at shortstop. So falls behind, even on the count here, 1-1. Mason Harrell on the bump. Again, he is the Rockingham commit. And we'll give you some of his metrics here in just a bit. Again, Mason may not throw as hard as Zach Wester, but he knows how to battle, knows how to compete. Much like Zach, he's been getting quality pitching innings since he was an underclassman. Swing and a miss here. Goes to that changeup. Man, took a lot of speed off that. 1783 on the spin. But he's just a very professional pitcher. Good four-seam fastball. Finishes with great direction. There it is, right on the corner. Went back to that changeup. 71. 1649 on the spin. So gets him looking. Strike 3 call. That means it's a Burlett Painting. Strike 3, painting the corners with Burlett. Here's Braden Surratt. We saw him pitch in that Franklin game. Racked up, 5 Ks to start the game or something for outs. But Braden going to be going to NC State. He's interested in playing NCBA ball, which for you kids at home, that's club baseball. It's very competitive. It's found at a lot of the state schools, the bigger colleges. Kids that were plenty good to play D2, D3, JUCO, but they go to that state school, get that education, and live that D1 lifestyle, but still playing competitive baseball. Braden says he's thinking about it, but he's also applied to be the manager of the football team at NC State. So very exciting times for Mr. Surratt. Harrell goes back to that spinner. He's going to miss low. And his spin, very much like Wester's, a high spin slider curveball. It was over 2,600 on the spin there. A lot of good shapes with his pitches. His velo, I've only ever clocked him maybe around 81, 82, but the way he throws and all the spin, I think there's more coming. Surratt hits that ball to center field, but Hampton out there could not find it in the sun. So that's going to drop down for a single. So first hit of the game coming from Surratt.
Center fielder, number 14, Isaiah Mintz.
So Mincy Isaiah Mintz going to try to make mincemeat out of a baseball here. He's a good right-handed swinger. Selfless baseball player. Can play multiple positions for you. He suits up in center field this evening. He can get behind the plate. He might actually take over behind the plate next year when Boone Carver graduates. Talked to him before the game. I said, Isaiah, what schools do I need to be contacting? And he looked at me kind of shocked. And it's like, you put you on the spot. Think deep here. What do you want? He said, probably JUCOs. And I'm like, well, at least his head's in the right spot because junior college baseball is extremely competitive. People think it's this lower level, but it's just the launching pad for the next generation of D1 and D2 baseball players. There are plenty of D1 baseball players down at JUCO right now, let me tell you. So Isaiah Mintz, he's plenty good to be considered for D1, D2, JUCO, D3 programs right now within the recruiting market. However, the way things shake out, right-handed swinging outfielder, I think a place like CVCC, Surrey, Wake Tech, Guilford Tech, he's a guy that JUCOs definitely need to know about. I still think we need to start getting into some more of those East Tennessee JUCOs, looking at y'all Walters, looking at y'all Pellissippi, looking at y'all Roane State, Cleveland State. However, Tennessee Junior College, I don't know if you knew this, but they actually put a limit on how many scholarships you can give to out-of-state players. Tennessee tries to foul here. Tennessee tries to keep most of their rosters on their sports teams Tennessee kids. So I think they get 6 waivers for the baseball team to use on potential out-of-state players for scholarship. They can recruit more than 6, but they can only give 6 waivers for scholarship. What's the last person we sent to Walter State? Was it Zebby Matthews? Is that the last Western North Carolina guy? I'd have to go back and look. Quick pick here by Harold, but back in time is Surratt at first. I know John O'Pierce, who played for us at Christ School. He's out at Roane State now. But I can't think of any other Western North Carolina baseball players that are out there in the JUCO scene. So Mintz here, 2-2. Yeah, I want to thank Mr. Travis Wester for setting up the Stalker Sports app for us again today. He did it for us versus Franklin on March 31st when we were here, but it shows the velos, the spin rate, and then what you call the roll, which I guess is more of what's the speed as it arrives at the plate. So that was strike 3. I guess it was a change up there. So it gets Mintz. Was that looking or swinging?
Now batting,
I was looking
number
down.
8.
So we'll look at the replay here.
Carver!
Ooh, I guess he called it. It was a drop third strike. So called strike 3 is brought to you by Burlett Painting. Painting the corners with Burlett. So that's why I like when Canio's here. I don't ever have to look down at the book. Oh, boy. Boone Carver puts a charge into one and sends one out to his buddies in left field. So that's going to score Surratt and put these guys up 2-0. So last time we were here, Boone Carver hit one off the top of the fence. This time he says, I'll do y'all one better and send one out and beyond those walls. So 2-0 here early. Boone Carver with a big swing. I'll bring Landon right to the plate. Landon, another one of those 90-mile-per-hour arms we like to brag about. He pitched on Tuesday. Pisgah Bears still going wild over there. Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom.
Have to charge him royalties and trademark that. Sell it back to him. So, with that new Street Fighter movie coming out, a Sonic Boom. I wonder if he had a particular buddy out there in the trucks that he was aiming at. Sends a souvenir out to Pisgah fan faithful out there. And landing right ahead 1-0 here on Mason. Goes back to that spinner. Now, I will say, Harold was off to a great start there. The 2 Ks to right and Mintz. And we talked about that in the pregame. That he's going to have a lot of swing and miss in his game, strikeouts to limit contact, but that's the kind of contact you hope to avoid entirely. A big old barrel. And props to Boone Carver, who shouted him out a lot last year as being one of the best defensive catchers west of Charlotte, really improving his offensive game this season. Again, he's always had some pop, had a little trouble with the consistency getting over that 300 mark last year, but this season, lots of extra base hits. Speaking of extra base hits, Landon Wright can send one over a fence in a minute too. It's full count here. A lot of change-ups early here for Harrell, even on the right on right. 3-2 delivery. Nice pitch. Goes to the curveball. Spinner up near 2,500. 2-run homer. Strikes out the side, though. But, man, that big blow by Boone Carver. 2 hits in the inning. 2 runs in on no errors. Again, Harrell striking out the side. Heading into the second inning, it'll be August Famla, Eli Freeman, and Landry Webb to the plate.
For the best coverage and content of Western North Carolina baseball, visit our Patreon, patreon.com/BB-University-WNC. Here you'll find power rankings, players of the week, podcasts, preseason and playoff predictions, highlight films, and much more. Memberships start at $1, and all the money raised stays right here in Western North Carolina. Support Mountain Baseball.
Yeah, join the Patreon, guys. I think we're at about 130 members, trying to build that scholarship fund through it as well. Getting ready to print out some hats and T-shirts to reward the 10 and 20 and beyond members. Anyone that's joined the Patreon who's listening, we respect y'all. Thank you for supporting Mountain Baseball. Second inning sponsors Comfort Keepers. They specialize in comforting solutions for in-home senior care. So nothing is more important than helping people to live full, independent, and dignified lives within the comfort of their own homes. Comfort Keepers offers an extensive range of non-medical care services tailored to the unique needs of each individual they serve. Serving Buncombe and Henderson County, they're also hiring for part-time positions. They need flexible people available for AM and PM shifts in the Asheville and Hendersonville area. So contact them today at 828-687-1199 or asheville@comfortkeepers.com. Second inning of work coming up here for Zach Wester. Again, Zach, I see a D1 pitcher, and it's not just because of the metrics. It's because this kid has been given quality innings, playoff innings, conference innings since freshman year, knows how to pitch, knows how to live the lifestyle of a pitcher, trains with Anthony Payne at Nova Pitching. And, he understands a lot about recovery, flexibility, range of motion, lifting, diet. And that's what it takes to be a college-level player, especially at the D1 level, which, again, I predict a D1 offer and a D1 commitment from this young man before all is said and done. Not that that's the most important thing. It's just if it's going to happen, there's a special type. Fist one foul down the right field line. Just a certain type of mentality that it takes to jump right into the pool of D1 sports. So Fama, got my first look at him back in the fall at that Bob Lewis Scout Day that we had, and I was really impressed with his movements, the frame, the body. There's some good potential in the young man, but not able to touch that one, coming in at close to 90 there. Third strikeout. It was 87, spins of 25.65. So third K for Wester.
I'm so sorry,
Eli Freeman. I believe Eli's still trying to find a college home. He showed some interest, came out, did a prospect filming with us last year, trying to stay a little closer to home. Again, that's where we speak on the major need for 1, probably 2 junior college programs to pop up here in the mountains. Again, no junior college baseball west of Cleveland, west of Caldwell. I think what you would consider our only Western North Carolina junior colleges, really. Cleveland, Caldwell, Gaston, USC Union. They like to recruit out of the mountains, even though they're an upstate school. But for the most part, not a lot of junior college opportunities for our mountain boys without travel involved. Gets ahead quick here, 0-2. A lot of spin on that curveball. I wonder if Wester goes right back to it. Quick pitches, goes to the heat. Now, I understand the quick pitch, but I don't think Zach needs that.
Just listen to the kids, dude.
Swing and a miss at the curveball there. Strike 3. So 70-mile-per-hour curveball, 26.67 on the spin. Yeah, it had me laughing here because we got a group of probably 5, we say. These middle school, elementary school age kids, probably elementary school, but they're standing behind Zach or Travis Wester's radar gun here and just shouting out every high velo. I say Travis is probably about to yell at those kids because they're knocking his gun all over the place. Landry Webb up now. Landry, a very talented sophomore. Swing and a miss at the curveball there. Landry, Coach Shepard told me about him last year as a freshman, starting to dress out as a freshman now in a starting role for varsity sophomore year. Him and Jonas Jones in that sophomore class, very good young sophomores, but man, are they taking over and filling some big shoes. And Colt Nelson at short for Webb and Evan Connor for Jonas Jones. That's the catcher. Nice fight there by Webb. But I see the same energy in Webb and Jonas Jones that I saw in Connor and Colt Nelson. You know, I see that same athleticism, that same Haywood County vibe, too, the good personalities, friendly personalities. Ooh, barely checks his swing there. They're going to check down. That Wester just went and challenged them, and even more so do I like it that Webb stayed competitive there. So 1-2-3 inning again. 2 more Ks collected, 4 on the day through 2 innings for Wester. Heading into the bottom of the second, it'll be Zane Wilson, Zach Wester, and Owen Rigsby. And I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Pace here in a second. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our away team sponsors first, and then he's going to tell you about these Waynesville Howlers. So thank you tonight to the following businesses for sponsoring the time that we take to market this game pre-game to college coaches, and then cutting up, editing highlights, and posting highlights with scouting content on social media afterwards. Again, Catalucci Dental Group, Intuitive Business Solutions, and then Waynesville Howlers. How you doing there, Mr. Pace?
Doing well. Appreciate you having me.
Well, you were in this dugout last year with Coach Shepard. Coached against you a little bit in the Henderson when you were with the Hendersonville Honeycrisp. One of my best coaching buddies, Mitchell Whitener, speaks very highly of you. I think a lot of the better baseball minds know you out here, but you got a new job. Tell them about it.
Yeah, it's every time I try to get away from the game, it seems to reel me back in. So, head coach for 13 years, and last year decided to step away for good. Kiddos are growing up, wanted to spend more time with the family, and late February, this landed in my lap, and it was a different side of things. There's no stressing about game planning, practice planning, or anything like that. So excited to be on this side of it and bring this level of baseball to Haywood County.
Now, this, the Old North State League, the Waynesville Howlers, you're bringing in some familiar faces to play for you. Evan Connor, Tyler Williams, Colt Nelson coming back. But tell us a little bit about the staff and the roster that you're assembling, and then we'll talk a little bit about how the locals here in Haywood County and Western North Carolina in general can get involved, business sponsors, host families, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Our head coach is Briggs Barker. He's a graduate of
hard drive here to left field from Zane Wilson.
Briggs Barker's the head coach. He is at Cleveland Community College right now. He was top of the list when I spoke with Alec.
Now, Maddie,
and
your pitcher, number
hands
5,
down, just a great option, great rapport with the guys. And then our assistant coach is actually going to be a Pisgah alum that I coached for 4 years over here.
Levi Medford?
Levi Medford, yes.
We shouted him out on the broadcast. He's in his 5th year, you said, at Anderson.
Correct. Plays first 4 at King and then finishing up at Anderson. And just great kid. Played with us at the Honeycrisp. I couldn't be more pleased with the 2 coaches we've got in place over there.
Briggs grew up a lot over the last few years. I'm a big Briggs Barker fan. Love what he's doing down at Cleveland. Had to learn on the fly. Not a pitcher in high school. They didn't have a pitching coach. Very proactive young man. Learned a lot on the fly. Helped out with the Honeycrisp. I used to hate him. when we were playing against you because he was obnoxious as all get out, but he's a good human. He's growing up. It's crazy to think that he's only, 22, 23 years old?
Yeah, he's a go-getter. Like I said,
he's 40 at heart, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we've got a few inside jokes from when he was with the Honeycrisp, that hairdo. I always told the players, watch out with your moms.
Now,
Briggs a ladies' man.
Well, now I was going to say that's going to be the rivalry, I'm guessing, is right down the road in Henderson County. They've done a good job. You helped with that, building that fan base down there, so you have an idea of what it takes to run a small summer collegiate organization like this. So let's start with the host families. You got kids coming that, again, we got locals. We said Evan, Cole, we got JoJo Brown coming back. Carson Wallace, I think, is playing for y'all. But some of these kids aren't from around here. So what do y'all need for host families? What's that look like?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. We've got about 5 or 6 kids that are going to need host families right now.
Number 18.
The only thing a host family has to do is provide a bed and a place for them to shower. These kids are well behaved. Host families are something that is usually the last to gain traction. There's a lot of risk people feel like taking on, but these kids are here to better themselves, and they know they've got to report back in the fall, and we report back to their head coaches. And it's a great way that if you've got little kids in the home that are interested in baseball, you've got somebody there that can work with them all summer.
I was going to say, these guys are growing up too. And
absolutely.
It's like, I've heard, again, there was host family. I coached the now defunct Marion Swamp Foxes. And it was the same thing, running all these teams. But you start to hear stories about how they're helping with the dishes. They're sitting down to dinner with grandma and grandpa. That's the old school baseball feel that I think we're trying to create out here with this Howlers team. I saw it with the Hendersonville Honeycrisp. So, again, the host families – I've coached these kids. These are great kids you're going to have in your household helping out. And now, even more important, because unfortunately it takes money to make trees fall. Tell them a little bit about the sponsorships and what you guys are trying to do to recognize those local businesses that help you guys out this year.
Absolutely, we've got a variety of different options. We got your traditional in the park. If you want to buy a banner and hang a banner, you've got those traditional options. But we have a whole marketing team.
Swing off the end of the bat here by Rigsby. That's going to get down for a single.
We have a whole marketing team behind us that, we want to get you. This day and age, you got to be out on the web and the social media. So we have a ton of options. If you wanted to be a game sponsor, you could come out. If you're somebody that sells merchandise, set up a tent, tell people what you're about, throw out the first pitch. We recognize you on the field. There's a lot of different ways to get involved. And that's where I'm thankful that we're in Haywood County because
they show up.
Athletes. Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you. So it's at Lake, I'm going to botch it again, Lake Junaluska? Junaluska. Yeah, that's what I get for being born in Maryland. Botch everything when I come down here. If you've ever been to a game there, folks, trust me, it's packed, and they will support this team. So if you're a local business and you're setting up a little tent or a little merchandise table, there will probably be at least 1,000 people that are going to be walking past that table. Like, these high school games bring out that minimum. So for a collegiate game, especially when you got those names like Evan and Colt, Carson Wallace, guys that are part of that post-70 team. So these are guys that are making a name for themselves in the baseball world. And you fans are going to want to come out and see them because, these guys might be playing for a while. Braden Korn played for you. We're hoping Trent Turner gets drafted this year. So it's your chance to see these guys before they become professionals potentially.
Absolutely. It was Braden and Trent were two of the most favorite players to coach. Didn't have to say anything to them. They just show up and do what they do. But it's very competitive and high-level baseball that people are going to see. And that's what I'm excited about is it gives the youth. We're going to have youth camps. So it's another way for these kids to grow the game in Haywood County. And ultimately that's my goal with it all.
All right. So you brought us some interesting stuff here today. What should we – all right. So Coach Pace brought us this beautiful, much better than anything I ever print out for our stuff, packet here. Looking at all the different banner packages, jersey sponsors. These, honestly, for a full season, these prices absolutely make sense for a business. So what's the best way that they can contact you here?
Either I've got my email. It's pretty simple. It's bpace@waynesvillehollers.com. You can find all my information on our website. So I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I'm a realtor as well, so my number's out there on the internet.
Okay. Do you mind if I go ahead and shout this number
Go
out?
for it.
So again, you can catch them at 828-593-9187. Strike three. Oh, they get it down on time. Oh, they said he got back on the bag. So you put that in the book real quick. We have Bradley Pace, again, 828-593-9187. I just started following y'all on the social media today. I just found them on Instagram, found y'all on X. Y'all are on Facebook too. Anything else? That's all I know. What else is out there?
The Facebook and Instagram are the two main platforms that we use.
And do you guys have any broadcast stuff set up?
So all the games will be broadcasted through the Old North State League.
Nice.
So you can sign on to the Waynesville Hollers website, and there'll be a link on the website that you can click and watch them, whether they're at home, whether they're on the road.
If they're home, get out to the park.
Absolutely.
Like now, if you're away, I understand. If you don't want to go on the road, it's because you guys are going to be going down to Brunswick, and there's a team in Sand Hills, and Lexington. Where else do we go? Pineville. Marion's still out.
There's no Marion.
I'll tell you, it was really hard, and I think it was location.
Yeah,
we were
absolutely
out in the middle of nowhere, but it's a good league. It's a good place for a lot of you kids coming back that freshman year, that sophomore year. You need your reps. Again, you heard about the host families. You'll be home every night. I do believe the bus comes home every night, or do you guys have? Okay. Yep. Meals. I remember when we coached, there was always post-game meals. They take care of you pretty good, and I promise you that Haywood County, by far, is probably going to embrace this team more than any other team in the league. And that's no offense to Old North State League. I think they're doing great, but I don't think they understand what they have gotten themselves into with Haywood County baseball.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
They were very excited about expanding in Waynesville, that's for sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to get back in some game action. Is there anything you want to sign off on before we?
No, I just appreciate you having us out and the support, and we're looking forward to May the 24th.
That's the opening day.
That's the opening
It's
day.
a home game. May 24th. Lake Norman. What's their mascot?
The Harbor Hippos.
Whatever. Waynesville Howlers, right? So that's for our hunting and fishing folks, right? You take your dog out on the trail. It makes sense. That's a good name. Color spectrum, is it going to be the same as the Tuscola?
Yeah, with that being the home field, so it's going to be yellow and black. So all my Canton folks,
y'all find yourselves an alternative jersey sponsor, and you can do a black and red once a week or something.
We've got a camo jersey out there.
There you go. Well, hey, Coach, I appreciate the heck out of you. If you want to hop on later in the game and talk some baseball, all about it. But I know the people at home are probably like, tell us about this dang game too, Coach.
Absolutely. The County Clash, baby.
I appreciate you, man. Really do. You want me to hold on to this too?
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. All right. So, catching y'all up on some action here, Zach Wester is going to start off the inning with a strikeout to Jonas Jones. That is his fifth. Again, in the top of the third there. Had the hit by Owen Rigsby, but that was it, with Mason Harrell buckling down and collecting the 2 Ks. I want to tell you a little bit about our social media before we move back into the play-by-play. Again, you're watching it on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid. There's a pop-up on the right side here. Has that got enough to get out? Yes. Oh, no. That ball's caught. We got an angle on that. Nice job, Hunter. So the first baseman taking that in foul territory, 2 quick outs. But, yeah, if you're watching live here on YouTube, don't be afraid of that subscribe button. If you're like me, you're old and you don't understand technology, I learned that when you press subscribe, you actually don't pay anything. You just get notifications of all our games. Follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. Our handle is BB University WNC. Nice pitch there. Strike 1 to Elijah Hampton, now at the bottom of the lineup here. Number 9 hitter. I want to thank our third inning sponsor, American Legion Post 70. Again, a lot of those Post 70 heroes from last year will be playing on that Waynesville Howlers ball club this summer with Coach Barker, Coach Pace, Coach Ledford. But we want to remind you youngsters that we have our last Junior Legion tryout coming up on the 19th this weekend. So, again, if you're looking to play for the Junior Legion team for Post 70, get out there. It's going to be at AC Reynolds. Again, if you need any information, you can contact me and contact Coach Decker. Post 70 is on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and X. And they want to remind you that they won Area 4. They won the states, they won regionals, and they made it all the way to the World Series last year, finishing 2-1, eliminated on a technical tiebreaker. That was a great team to help rejuvenate Legion baseball out here in the mountains. Wester delivers inside corner, gets him looking. That is a called third strike. Paint the corners with Burlett. 6 Ks for Wester. No runs, no hits on the inning. Heading into the bottom of the third, it'll be the top of the lineup. So I want to thank Bradley Pace again. Bradley Pace, one of the best baseball people in Western North Carolina. Did a lot out here with this Tuscola program, that Hendersonville Honeycrisp program. Again, I want to thank him for stopping by and explaining the whole process of what it takes to run a summer collegiate team, finding sponsors, finding host families, finding coaches, finding players. It ain't an easy road. Trust me, we know. But make sure you get out to the Lake Junaluska, and watch yourselves a ball game this summer.
Have a little twang with it.
Junaluska. All right. In-game sponsors want to thank Ion Outdoors, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, Granning Landscapes, Hauling Solutions and Grading, Burlett Painting, Camwood Bats, and Next Level Baseball North Carolina. They are in-game sponsors. You'll hear their names pop up throughout the broadcast with certain action. If there's a mound visit, it's an Ion Outdoors mound visit. If it's an insurance run, it's a Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance run. If it's a web gem, it's BH Granning Glove Work. If it's a stolen base, it's Hauling Solutions and Grading Stolen Base. Called Strike Threes, Burlett Painting. Painting the corner with Burlett. And then at the end of the game, we'll have our next level play of the game and our Camwood Bats player of the game. So back to the top here again. Mason Harrell has been throwing well beyond the 2-run homer given up to Boone Carver. He's collected 5 Ks through 2 innings.
Leading off, number 4.
And strikeout victim Maddox Wright will be leading off the third here against Harrell. Again, Mason Harrell been giving quality innings to these Tuscola Mountaineers for 4 years now. Knows how to pitch, knows how to spin it. Good 3-4 pitch makeup. Get you guys some velocities here on Mason once we get a fastball. Goes to the curveball here, 68 miles per hour, fouled away. Good spin, 25-15. Again, both these pitchers tonight, Harrell and Wester, spin it better than anybody. Spin rate, that became very popular in the last decade of college recruiting. Oh, goes to the changeup again. Gets the swing and the miss, 17:07. That changeup's a go-to tonight for Harrell. That's, we're talking about his spins, but it's the pitch he's taking the spins off of that's getting the most results. Oh, my. Nice piece of hitting there by Wright. He kept his hands back. Was out on the front foot a little bit, but kept his hands back and flicks the barrel on the off-speed out to center field for a 2-strike single. Braden Surratt coming up again. Had a single in the first inning that was given an assist by the Sun. It was off the end of the barrel single to center field that I don't think Hampton out there saw. And then 2 batters later, Boone Carver hit one so hard it didn't matter if you saw it or not because it flew out of here. I guess that was a ball on top of the zone. 76 on the reading there. The fastball's been high. Fastball's been high 7s for Harrell to start. Again, we've seen him get up 81, 82 in the past. Not a guy that needs to work at a high velo. So Surratt showing bunt, pulls back. Looks like he's going for the slash. Little cutter there. 66, 24, 22 on the spin. 1-1 count. Coach Harold Shepard not happy down there in the third base box. What was he yelling out there? Somebody missed a sign is what happened. Long hold. Here's delivery. Ground ball. See, not quite hard enough to get to. Webb's going to throw across route number 1.
Now batting, number 14, Isaiah Mintz.
So 6-3 on the putout there. It does do a job and moved right up to second, essentially what the bunt was trying to accomplish. Mintz struck out in the first inning. I think it was on a changeup that bounced out of the glove of the catcher. So strike 3, then tagged him out. Mintz, good baseball player. Made some nice plays out there in center to start. Takes a curveball here. About 2,400 on the spin. Comes in at 65. Pitch count for Harold. It's at 47. Swing and a miss. Nice job going back to that changeup. That pitch is really working well for Harold today. Took the spin off 1681, just dropping out of the zone. So about 77 to 78 on the fastball, then 71 on the change. That is a excellent differentiation, especially when the bottom's dropping out. Missing low and outside here. Fastball 79. Still spinning at 2,200. And it's funny to think that, like, spin rate, no one even knew what that was until we had the technology to measure it. You know, you got to think, like, what were the spin rates on guys like Bob Feller? Oh, swing and a drive to right center field. Nice play out there by Freeman. So that's a BH Granning glove work. Tracking that fly ball out there by the senior Eli Freeman.
Now batting,
Maddox
number
right.
8.
Tags up and moves to third. So even with 2 outs recorded with Mintz and Surratt, Wright able to advance on each one. So playing some good small ball there is the Guilford Tech commit. And that brings big bad Boone Carver back to the plate, who had a sonic boon ripping a dinger to left field. That's the scoring as it sits right now, 2-0. Don't think he gets a fastball this time. So Carver, one of the best defensive catchers in Western North Carolina. Got a cannon, got a chooch, as they like to say, behind the plate. Been very impressed with his offensive gains this year. Boone will be playing post-70 Legion baseball, I'm told, as well. I believe Landon Wright and Maddox Wright will be joining him. I'm still going to go tug on the sleeve of Isaiah Mintz and Zach Wester a little bit more. See if we can talk them into it. But that's up to us at Legion Baseball to continue to try to create college recruiting opportunities, and we are going to. Oh, hit by a pitch. Little spinner stayed in on him. So a 2-out base runner here, first and
Now
third.
batting, number 13, Landon Wright.
But talked to Coach Decker the other day. Our 2 plans here for college recruiting opportunities for Legion are, 1, obviously the broadcast, as we will have a few underclassmen playing, and we will have players who are committed to JUCOs or are currently at JUCOs, so we're going to continue to market them. And we're also going to run a Scout Day. So a Legion Scout Day, we're still planning it, but that'll bring our uncommitted senior Legion players and our whole junior Legion team together for a Scout Day. We're going to try to bring some schools out, get your prospect films done, do some evaluation. So again, that's our selling pitch to you. If you don't want to go spend $5,000 on Showcase Baseball, then consider Legion. You're taking a chance to try to buck the system a little bit, as they say, and go against the grain, save some money, try to still get those college recruiting opportunities. But I'll tell you, the more I get into this, I really don't think Showcase moves the needle that much anymore. I think it's about contacts, communication, sending out good video, pitching well for your high school team, and having good coaches that are able to pick up the phone and help you with those communications. I just feel like if I'm there's a ball low and away, so Carver going to go ahead and steal a bag. What do they say? Unchallenged, right? So second and third now. But again, if I'm Zach Wester, Landon Wright, Mason Harrell, if I'm, these good pitchers out there, people are going to learn about you and find out about you through communication more than Showcase nowadays. So that ball was skied to left field about as high as it went far, and Landon Wright pops out to that left fielder to end the inning. So 2 stranded. 2 hits in the inning.
1 hit.
1 hit in the inning, a hit batter, 2 left on, no errors, 2-0 still as we head into the top of the 4th inning. Let me go check camera 4. Is that what you're saying? Well, thought we were going to be lucky today and not have to go check a camera, but I will be right back. Just that one?
For youth, high school, and college pitchers, are you looking to take the next step in your player development? Nova X Kinectics is directed by Payne. Coach Payne has worked with several Western North Carolina pitchers in the last few seasons and helped them make major jumps in their physicality, velocity, and overall athletic performance. By infusing data, analytics, and biomechanics, Coach Payne is trying to help pitchers get the most out of their potential. If you're looking to make strides in your pitching performance, get with Coach Payne and Nova X Kinectics ASAP. He offers in-house and remote training options for high school and college level athletes. Nova X Kinectics, new school data, old school grit. Appreciate Coach Payne for being our 4th inning sponsor, and our camera 4 is working. Thank you, Ryan. Climbing down a ladder. It's just the way of life out here, man. Climbing down a ladder and fixing cameras. Can't understand why. Got a handful of screens tonight. Got a laptop running the broadcast. Got an iPad controlling the score bugs and other overlays and updating the scores. Got a cell phone with the Stalker Sport thanks to Mr. Wester, and got a game changer.
Man, it's where I miss Canio. So we got Canio doing play-by-play, those little technical difficulties that fans don't even know about. I can just sneak away and do it, but all good. Back to the top of the lineup here for Wester. Mason Harrell struck out his first time up. Spins one in. Missed low, I suppose. About 25, 28 on that spin. There's a fastball at the bottom of the zone. Strike 1.
Someone
So
else
1-1.
updating max preps for us, so I don't have to do it tonight. Let's go. You recognize that name?
I do not. I'll tell you, when I was up there, I was kind of looking around a little bit. I would guess.
Getting a
What do you think about
attendance count?
600? I don't know. I was trying to count how many people are really here.
I'm terrible at
There's a good bit, especially
analyzing
consider out
people.
left center field. Like that left field crew, by the end of this game, there might be a left and center field crew. The car line growing a little longer out there. If anybody's listening out there in left field, y'all should start the wave or something. Start hitting a beach ball around.
like they did in Omaha.
So full count here to Harrell. I don't want to jinx the young man yet, but I would like to see a strike more than a ball here.
Why even say it? Dude, why even say it, man? Like, what are we doing?
That's first base runner of the night for Tuscola. I bring Ian Omsler.
It happens every time, man.
So it's like maybe I do want to jinx young man. So Omsler, he was on the bump on Tuesday for Tuscola. He's in left field this evening. Flew out to center field in the first. First time Zach Wester's had to work from the stretch tonight. Mason Harrell, good athlete. He can run a little bit. Curveball there by Wester. Drops in for strike 1. About 2,600 on that spin. There's a quick pick. About 90-mile-per-hour pick to first base there.
Well, if you had a second stalker, you could have determined that.
Boone Carver is not one you want to take lightly when you're on the bases. I believe it was last season versus West Henderson. Might not have this right, but I think he backpicked 4 players in one game, 4 Falcons in one. So, yeah, clipped their wings a little bit. Squares the bunt. Fastball rides outside. So first little bit of trouble that Zach Wester's run into tonight. That's not terribly troubling yet. With the base runner on first, nobody out, falling behind the second batter, 2-1. A good firm strike here to recalibrate the inning. Fouled off by Amsler. Amsler Sr., I don't think he's trying to play college baseball, so just going to be giving it his all for his senior season. Ball low. Went to it. Surely that is not correct. That was not a 3,982 spin. That was a changeup is what it was. So full count here. Not a bad idea to start the runner. But Amsler's got to be playing to contact. Short to the ball. Can't strike out, especially on a fastball, because that could be a double play real quick. If the runner does take off, you don't want to see that strike him out, throw him out. Runner stays. Ground ball picked up by Wright. Throws the second straight for 1. Back to first. Double play. 5-4-3. Both retired. Nice play by Landon Wright. That is some B.H. Granning glove work if we've ever seen it. Good candidate for play of the game right there, too. We'll see how things shake out throughout the rest of the game. So nice job. Eliminates both in one pitch. And Gillian is going to pop one to right field. It's a can of corn out there for Jackson Lehman. And just like that, he faces the minimum. So a leadoff walk is retired on double play. No hits, no runs, nobody left on. Heading to the bottom of the 4th, it'll be Zane Wilson, Zach Wester, and Owen Rigsby. Let's take a second to thank our home team sponsors again. I want to thank 828 Service Group, Prince Boat Docks, and West North Carolina C10 Shop. They are the businesses that support the time that we put towards contacting and marketing to this game to college coaches pregame, and then editing and posting the highlights for these Pisgah Bear prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media afterwards. Again, 828 Service Group. Prince Boat Docks reminding you that Lake Fontana is open. The pontoon boats are for rent, and you need to be coming out with the family for a good old day on the lake. And in Western North Carolina C10 Shop, well, if you're into Chevys and restoration, you got to get with them. Also want to shout out Catalucci Dental. Again, they're sponsoring both Pisgah and Tuscola tonight. They have locations all throughout Western North Carolina. So if you're looking for a lifetime of smiles, you got to get with Catalucci Dental. When's the last time you've been out to Lake Fontana there, Hunter?
Never.
Never?
Maybe once when I was little.
Well, about time you got out to Prince Boat Docks. Maybe we'll go get a pontoon boat, bring the families out for a good old
Leading
evening.
off for the Bears, number 9.
On the lake.
Zane Wilson.
So Zane Wilson coming to the plate. He's a left fielder tonight. Remember, Zane's from Ohio. Moved to Western North Carolina this past year, and now he's a Pisgah Bear. Just talk to Zane, be like, so what do you think about this place? You know, how's this place compared to Ohio?
10 times better.
Ohio's an interesting state. I went to college there, Ohio Northern. It's one of those states where each part of the state is a little different. Down in the southeast, it's Appalachian Mountains still. So, like places like Zanesville, speaking of Zane getting drilled by a pitch here. Muskegum College, for example.
Now up.
Some
the
places
pitcher,
in those mountains of
number 5,
southeast Ohio.
Western.
And then you have kind of like the coal country where it hits up on Kentucky down there by Cincinnati. You got like college towns like Columbus. You got the Great Lakes areas. Great Lakes up there near Cleveland. Toledo, where I went to school in Ohio Northern for a couple years, Ada, Ohio. We called it the Tundra because it's that true Midwest plains. So hopefully Mr. Wilson's okay down there at first. Oh, yeah, big old win tonight. Andrews takes out Murphy 14-10 to stay undefeated. So, yes, we will be there Friday versus Hayesville for the Smoky Mountain Conference Championship. So it doesn't even matter who wins on Tuesday. If Hayesville wins, if Andrew wins, that's what they'll be playing for on that Friday is a cut of the conference title.
Well, not.
Because if they – well, what?
Someone else could win later on. There's still games to be played, Ryan.
I think Friday's it for them. Because they've all played Murphy, they've all played Swain, they've all played Robbinsville. And no offense to the rest of that conference, but no. And again, I want to see what Andrews is all about. I'm not expecting them to necessarily – that ball's going to pop away from Gillian for a second. So again, Zane Wilson, the runner at first base. Yeah, I don't expect to go out there and see Andrews' undefeated team be on the same level as these two teams out here, but I expect them to be competitive. I'm hoping for at least one or two players on that roster that seem like there's college potential. And I just like the environment of a good small school baseball game, so I'm hoping it's a packed crowd. So pop foul. That's heading back towards the fans. Everybody, whoa! And I hope that that young lady is okay over there. She seems to be okay, but she took one to the back. Oh no! Then it came down and hit one of the older women here in the face. I hope she's okay. So I'm gonna get some people over here to check on her. Again, that's why they put those signs up at baseball games about flying objects coming in the stands. We almost had one at Burnsville last night. Came right down in front of us. Oh, Coach Shepard with the whatever you call that, third base box. They don't pay him to field, though. They pay him to coach, and that's why they're in first place.
Well, there's only 4 teams now remaining mathematically in the Smoky Mountain 1A.
Swain, Robbinsville, I think their next loss, they'd be out. Next loss or next Hayesville Andrews win. Well, because again.
No, it's 5 right now.
Okay.
Ooh, that one was close. I didn't get that in time.
So 0-2 count here to Zach Wester. Trying to help his cause here. He's got a 2-0 lead. Swing and a miss. Harold got. Oh no, and Wilson is going to be caught in between here, but he's able to motor down to second base. So Wester strikes out swinging. I guess we'll give Wilson a stolen base on that. So that's a Hauling and Solutions stolen base, second of the day. Again, Boone Carver had a Hauling and Solutions stolen base back in the third. Again, Hauling Solutions and grading. Proprietor is Andrew Casoria, good guy. He's hauling dirt, gravel, mulch all over Henderson, Buncombe County. So get with him for all your hauling and grading needs. Nice block up there by Jonas Jones. And I still see high school players get caught up on that. They don't realize that the base is occupied. You strike out on the dirt ball, you're out, right? We'll see base runners take off thinking that they have to go because of the bounce third strike. Ground ball. Nice play by Fama. On the backside, Wilson able to take third after the throw. So Rigsby grounds out 5-3. And Wilson able to move up on the throw. So with 2 outs here,
the Bears. Number 6.
The Bears have
Jackson
a runner 90
Lehman.
feet away. We'll see if Jackson Lehman can come through in the clutch here with the 2-out base hit to score that run. So again, Jackson Lehman, uncommitted senior out there in right field this evening. Interested in potentially finding some JUCO options. Jackson from Georgia moved up here this past year. Him and Zane Wilson both moved into town to join the Bears, and sometimes you get a stroke of luck like that. Some extra depth just comes out of nowhere. when I was at Aberdeen, first coaching job up in Maryland, we were lucky. We had a family move to town. It was a military town. Aberdeen's got the proving grounds up there. We had the Smith family, 3 amazing brothers moved to town. Owen Smith, Sam Smith, and I can't remember the youngest because I was already out of town. But they went to the States that year, and it was we had a good team that we had been building for years. Again, we were a city school, and then this group of brothers moved in. They were amazing. And just like that, we became a state champion contender just because a few folks moved into town. That's ball 4, so Lehman's going to head on down to first. So first and third now with 2 outs.
Right.
We'll see if Coach Shepard's got something up his sleeves. He's checking his bingo card. Maddox right is 1 for 2 at a single last inning. And with first and third here and 2 outs, might see a little bit of trickery. We've seen some first and third rundown plays to sneak a run in. We saw that South Caldwell and Crest. We saw that with Brevard and West this year. Runner goes. Throw's going to go back down to third base, so it's a Hauling and Solutions stolen base for Jackson Lehman. Now there's 2 there for Maddox Wright. So Mason Harrell going to have to dig deep here to find his pitch. Get out of this unscathed. Swing and a miss, goes back to that changeup. Man, what a good pitch for Mason Harrell. Still my favorite pitch in baseball. 70 pitches for Harrell. Actually, this will be pitch number 72 coming up. Goes right back to that changeup again, and that is out number 3. Tough pitch to adjust to. 2 Ks in the inning. A hit batter, actually a hit batter and a walk. 2 runners left on, no hits, no runs. Heading into the top of the 5th, it'll be August Fama, Eli Freeman, and Landry Webb. I want to remind you to join our Patreon. Become a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month. Go to patreon.com/BB University. You'll find conference previews, preseason and playoff predictions, power rankings, player of the weeks, podcast highlight films, and more. Memberships, again, start at only $1, and all that money raised stays right here in Western North Carolina, supporting mountain baseball. So what I'm working on right now is the mock state games rosters for Region 8. So I'm going to take my best hack at it and tell you who I think should make it. I don't even know who's trying out, but just based on talent alone. If you want to get a peek of that, well, the public can't, right? Again, because the Patreon is for our Patreon members only. Join for $1, and if you're feeling really philanthropic, join the $5, $10, $20, $50, or $100 membership. The $50 and $100 memberships, half of that each month goes to building our college scholarship funds to give out to hopefully several players this summer. Looked at the funds the other day. I think we're up close to $1,200. Done a $500 scholarship the last 2 years. This year we might be able to do 2 $600 ones. So I want to thank our 5th inning sponsor, BF Stepp Electrical Company. BF Stepp has been in business for 42 years down there in Henderson County. They're a longtime supporter of Western North Carolina baseball, and they offer residential, commercial, and industrial services. Owned by Brooks Stepp, the unlimited license company is your go-to for new construction, remodeling, outdoor lighting, service changes, generator installations, and especially electrical maintenance. Give them a call today at 828-697-6097. So August Fama going to lead it off here. Again, they had the walk in the top of the 4th to lead off was Mason Harrell, but erased on a double play ball. So here in the 5th, Wester has faced the minimum. Fama struck out in the 2nd. He's going to pop one down the right side and over the dugout. So quickly ahead, 1 and 2 is Zachary Wester. Again, if you ever had a chance to talk to Zach, one of the most just kindest young men, very laid back, which is funny, he's such a competitor, but really doesn't show a ton of emotion, doesn't really show a ton of anger or enthusiasm one way or the other. He's just a very laid back, even-keeled young man as he collects another strikeout. Seventh strikeout collected by Mr. Wester. And as that sun starts to set in the west, Zach Wester is actually heating up here in the 5th inning. Really starting to lock in. 25-40 on that spinner. Goes right back to it. Strike 2, 26-40. 0-2. Bet he goes right back to it. No, he goes to the heat. 87 on the fastball. 2400 spin up top. So good idea. Might just want to go right back to it again. Nope, goes to the curveball. Oh, lined right into the glove of Zach Wester. So the old LO1 in the book, line out pitcher. Say, not hit terribly hard. Surratt may have been able to make a play on it behind him. Freeman, I think, was timing that curveball, thinking it might have been coming back. Here's Landry Webb. Landry probably had the hardest hit ball against Wester so far today. He lined out to center fielder Isaiah Mintz to end the second. Squared up I think it was an 88-mile-per-hour fastball he lined out there. Wester deals. Misses low here. I think he might have been going for a changeup there. So 1-1. Again, Landry Webb, exciting young player here for Tuscola. We mentioned Jonas Jones, the catcher. He's got a new generation up the middle coming through for Tuscola. There's that curveball again. That's just a tough spot today. 70 on the corner. 25-55 on the spin. Pitch count for Wester. This will be his 60th pitch coming up, I believe. So pitch count very well managed. Strike 3 and a beauty. 2 more Ks collected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the day for Wester. We head into the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the 2-hitter Braden Surratt, Isaiah Mintz, and Boone Carver to lead off. Hey, I want to shout out our away team sponsors again. Again, Haywood County is showing up. A bunch of home and away team sponsors today. They all sponsor the travel and the expenses to the broadcast, and then especially the time that we put before the broadcast to market to college coaches, and then the time afterwards to edit, produce, and then combine with scouting content, your highlights to put on social media for recruiting purposes. So, again, our away team sponsors today, Intuitive Business Solutions, the Waynesville Howlers, and Catalucci Dental Group. Again, Catalucci putting their name on both Pisgah and Tuscola this evening. Again, Bradley Pace came over, did a wonderful job breaking down the Waynesville Howlers. We hope that you go catch a game. We hope that some of the families consider hosting a few of their players, and we hope that the local businesses that have been so supportive of us are also supportive in helping build the Waynesville Howlers franchise with those business sponsors of their own. Well, yeah, got to say, Haywood County's always been very good to us. Good people up here, good sports environment. If you've ever caught a football game up here, holy moly. You know, just good rivalry here. It goes all the way back to 1922.
Now comes the play for the Bears.
1966 was when Pisgah and Tuscola took their formal names, but the high schools themselves, it goes back over 100 years. Again, some good tales to be told by the old-timers and the locals. Again, they ain't going to shy away from telling you about how these two youth groups back in the day would meet up at the county line and have their own bare-knuckle conversations. It's old school mountain grit, a lot of town pride. Swing and a line drive right into the glove of Landry Webb at shortstop. So 1 out as Surratt is retired. I'll bring Isaiah Mintz to the plate.
Number 14, Isaiah
Mintz gave one put one out to the right field fence, gave it a ride. It actually allowed Maddox Wright at the time to tag up from second to move to third, but it was an out nonetheless, so he's working on an 0 for 2. Is that ball one? Yes, 1-0 count. Again, that 2-run home run by Boone Carver is all the offensive noise so far. Mason Harrell has pitched a really good game. He's only allowed 4 hits, I think, on the evening, right? Ground ball. It's going to be towards the 5-5 hole as booted by the third baseman. Family will be an E5. So Mintz reaches for the first time.
Now,
so 1 out, 1 on.
3, Boone Carver.
Again, Boone Carver, the big swing in this game, the 2-run homer. Surratt had the single in the first, followed by the Carver home run. 4 hits only allowed in the game. Not a hit allowed since the leadoff single to Maddox Wright in the third. So a couple base runners, but no hits since that third inning single. So Mason Harrell pitching a really good game. Runner goes here. Throw down to second's just a bit high. So who would have thought? Is that Boone Carver still out there? They run for him. So I think, see if that was a pinch runner out there. Number 14, is that what that says? You got that Max Prep, or no, that's Mintz. Sorry, Carver's hit. Mintz is the second. My bad. My brain is working backwards here. Looked at the scorecard the wrong way. So again, that's Mintz out there at second with the stolen base. So Hauling Solutions and Grading, stolen base by Mintz. Carver's at the plate. He's the other one that has a stolen base. Zane Wilson as well. Jackson Lehman. So 4 stolen bases actually on the evening. So a lot of Hauling Solutions stolen bases. And just like Andrew Casori is hauling dirt, gravel, and mulch all around Henderson County, these Pisgah Bears are hauling tail around the bases this evening. So Carver 1 for 1. That's the 2-run homer and hit by a pitch. Again, Mintz, a good baseball player out there at second. He'll be getting good reads, turns his body all the way around to read that pop-up. Goes into the glove of Landry Webb out there. Landry playing a really good shortstop this year. Got a chance to evaluate him a little bit down at that Shelby tournament. He looks good in the middle.
Number 13.
So it's a very noble replacement of former shortstop Colt Nelson, who's down at Wingate now. Powerhouse D2. Landon Wright, 0 for 2. He turned that nice double play a couple innings ago when he was in the field there at third base, the old 5-4-3. Fouls one past his third base coach, Harold Shepard, for strike 1.
I'm going to turn this thing off and turn it back on, even though it's connected like 2 or 3 innings.
Okay. So Travis Wester telling us he's got a little bit of issues with his radar gun, so he's going to reset it for us. We'll continue to give you reads. So Harrell steps off and looks Mintz back at second. Again, 2 outs now. Trying to strand that runner out there. I say he's stranded a bunch of – oh, that ball is going to bounce off Jonas Jones's face mask, and Mintz is going to take a hard turn at third. But he puts the brakes on, so only 90 feet away. Again, Harrell been pitching nobly, but he's been leaving runners on. He's been having to strand 1 or 2 an inning. Working around the chaos a bit. He's able to keep this 2-0. Here's the pitch. Goes back to that spinner. Good pitch. So 1-2 count here to Landon Wright. Landon, he is an extra base threat. He's got a couple home runs on the season, I believe. Yeah, another big arm, counterpart to Zach Wester. So 2 90-mile-per-hour arms a week for the Bears. And Mason Harrell spins one in for strike 3 looking. So remember, it's called strike 3. It was brought to you by Burlett Painting. Paint the corners with Burlett. E5, but that's it. Runner left on base. No runs, no hits. 1 error. How many errors we got on the night? Just the one? A lot cleaner than that Burns Cherryville game last night. I think we saw 8 in that one. Heading into the top of the 6th. This game is cruising like a mountain or like a foothills game. Let me tell you, it's a pitcher's duel. Jonas Jones come to the plate, Cameron Hall, and Elijah Hampton. So 7, 8, 9 to face Zachary Wester. Appreciate all those that have subscribed to our social media. If you haven't yet, what are you waiting for? You call yourself a Western North Carolina baseball fan. If you're watching the YouTube right now and you haven't liked and subscribed, please do it. And if you're on Facebook, X, or Instagram, you can find us at BB University WNC. Again, Baseball University WNC. BB University WNC for X. I think that's good for the college recruiting. You kids don't need to buy any recruiting profiles or anything along those lines. X is plenty fine for your recruiting journey. Instagram, well, the kids seem to like it. I'm getting a little better at it. I think we're over 1,300 followers on Instagram now, and I still don't know how to use it. And then Facebook, that's good for the neighborhood. You may have seen our flyer posted in all the Haywood County and Waynesville and Canton message boards on Facebook today. We think it's the best way to get news to the locals. So again, follow us on Facebook, X and Instagram, YouTube, and then you can also check our website out at baseballu.org. We'll have some info about our first prospect filming of the year coming up soon on the website. We're going to be at Mars Hill on June 10th. So for you rising seniors and rising juniors who want college recruiting help, put it on the calendar, June 10th website. We'll have a good group of college coaches out there, get your films and your evaluations done, and help you start your college recruiting process.
Number 3, Jonas Jones.
Man, I should have brought a sweatshirt tonight. Shame on me for forgetting my coat. So it was 84, 85 today, and once that sun goes down, it gets a little chilly out here in these mountains. Nice take by Jonas Jones. Hey, I want to introduce our new 6-inning sponsor. So here we are in game number 18, I think. We finally got all our inning sponsors filled. New 6-inning sponsor is Flooring America. We want to thank them. Jumped on the broadcast last night for the first time as a sponsor. They're located at 600 Slater Street in Kings Mountain. And Flooring America wants to remind you that they are holding a warehouse sale on April 24th, discounting all overstock flooring. So flooring lots for $1 per square foot, mixed match flooring for $5 per box. You can go check out more about that April 24th sale and about Flooring America in general at flooringamerica.com. Also give them a call at 704-739-2756. See, I didn't even do the www in front of it anymore. Welcome to the future.
It's a Brad Paisley song. You're living in that 2006 future.
There's a swing and a line drive to center that Isaiah Mintz is able to come in and make a beat on. So out number 1. As Mintz's third put out of the evening out there in center field. So Jonas Jones 0 for 2 on the evening after that. I bring Cameron Hall to the plate. Cameron popped out to Owen Rigsby at foul territory in first base. It was a really nice piece of BH Granning glove work. I couldn't see it, but I think Hunter had a look at it by working the cameras at the time. So was it a nice play?
I just turned the camera to 4. I didn't look at it.
Fair enough. We're going to assume that it was a BH Granning glove work by Owen Rigsby.
It was over near the fence. He had to run a far ways in foul territory. I'd say it's nice.
Where's that Max Prep roster? Say this is Cameron Hall. Say Cameron, a senior. He's DH in the night for the second baseman, Bryson Matthews. Fouls on back of the netting here right in front of us. Quickly 0-2.
1-2.
1-2, I apologize. Wester, his next pitch delivered will be pitch 68. What a great pitch count. You love to see it. He's been extremely efficient tonight. Strike 3 looking. So that strike 3 is brought to you by Burlett Painting. Painting the corners of Burlett. That'll bring the number 9 hitter, Elijah Hampton, to the plate.
Now from the plate, number 12, Elijah Hampton.
Great rivalry game. Again, we're here in Haywood County. I would have to guess, I'd say about 600 people here total, maybe more, including all the cars out there in left center field. Great audience for a baseball game. Not a lot of offensive action tonight. The Boone Carver 2-run homer in the first inning is the only blemish on the scoreboard up there. Lots of zeros for Harrell and Wester tonight. Hampton looks a little overmatched on that swing and miss. Again, Hampton, left-handed swinging center fielder. He's a senior. Goes right back to that fastball. Again, Zach sat 88-90 early. Fastball's been more about 85 to 88 since. Spins are still beautiful. That has some heat behind it. Strike 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is the 10th K for Zach Wester. Oh, Mr. Decker, how you doing? You got anything? You don't want to sit here and talk about post 70 Legion baseball for the next half inning? No. Tryouts though, August 19th. This Sunday, tomorrow. Sunday after state game tryouts. Yep. So all you underclassmen out there listening to this game tonight, make sure you are at AC Reynolds after state games for the Junior Legion tryouts. Again, that's Coach Decker in the stands, probably out here to help me coerce Zach Wester to play Legion baseball for us after this game. And, man, what a game it's been for him. In-game sponsors, again, want to thank Ion Outdoors. Haven't seen a pitching mound visit at all. Why would you? These two kids have been cruising on the bump, Mason Harrell and Zach Wester. Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance runs. Well, ain't no runs been scored since the first inning, so if Pisgah's able to put one across this inning, that will be a State Farm, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance run. A lot of good Granning Landscape glove work tonight. You had Landon Wright turning the double play at third base. Isaiah Mintz running down a few in center field. Had the nice play by Rigsby over here in foul territory. So a lot of Granning Landscape glove work tonight. 4 hauling solutions and grading stolen bases. A lot of Burlett Painting called strike 3s tonight for both these young men on the bump. I got an idea who I want for the Camwood Bats player of the game if this game shakes out the way I think it could. And then the next level baseball play of the game, well, I don't know. Maybe the Boone Carver home run at this point.
Now coming to play for the Bears, number 9, Zane Wilson.
So it's going to be Zane Wilson, Zach Wester, and Owen Rigsby here in the 6th. Zane is 0 for 1. He did get hit by a pitch and stole a base in the 4th. And Zane, the Ohio native, spent a little time up in Ada, Ohio back in the day when I was at Ohio Northern. Great state, good people. Ground ball foul. The Buckeye State. Again, not a lot of Ohio State fans out this way, but the Midwest is a great place to grow up. My family's from Wisconsin, Minnesota. Ohio is another great lake state. My mom actually lived in Zanesville, Ohio for a little bit growing up before moving back to Racine, Wisconsin. So Zane Wilson, not from Zanesville, but Zane Wilson, been a great addition to Coach Shepard's Pisgah Bears roster. An unexpected addition, him and Jackson Lehman both this year. So Mason Harrell has been cruising since that first inning. A lot of swing and miss, a lot of called strike 3s as well, freezing people. But I'll tell you, the pitch of choice for Harrell this evening has been that nasty changeup. So he's made a few of these Pisgah batters look really bad with that changeup, that fader, that Darth Fader we call it. 1-2 delivery. Goes to the curve. Nice job by Wilson to keep those hands from breaking. They're going to check down the first anyway, but it is no swing. Again, I want to thank Bradley Pace for stopping by. That was great. The materials he was sharing. I mean, he's got a great business plan for you sponsors that want to get involved with the Howlers. The Hollers. I guess it's kind of a play on word to the mountain community. Go watch the Howlers down in the holler. Zane Wilson here works the count completely full. Harold delivers. Ground ball on the backside here. That's going to be picked up by Matthews and tossed over to first for out number 1. So 4-3 on the put out. That brings Zach Wester to the plate. Now Zach's got 10 Ks in the game, but he's got 2 of his own here at the plate tonight. So he's going to be looking to figure out the enigma that is Mason Harrell on the bump. See if he can shake the strikeout bug here. Again, Zach, well known for his pitching, but I got to give the kid credit. He's gained about 20, 30 pounds this year and become a lot more physical offensively. And that physicality has actually allowed him to step in and play a very good shortstop for the Bears when he's not on the mound as well. Foul ball here drops without a catch, so it'll be strike 1. So Zach's hustling out the box there. He's got to get his breath back. Mason Harrell turned into his infield outfield, giving them a thumbs up, making sure they're back in position. 0-1 delivery. Curveball, swing and a miss. 0-2. So Zach 1 strike away from wearing that golden sombrero, but I don't think he cares that much when he struck out 10 Bears of his own. 10 Mountaineers of his own. Swing and a miss. So gets that sombrero, does Harrell. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Ks for Harrell. So his next K will be his 10th. We talked about how that was going to be important in the keys of the game, that he was going to have to collect some swing and miss today. He's done great. He's given his team every chance to win this game. But again, Zach Wester outdueling him just by a bit. And that 2-run home run by Boone Carver in the first has been the offensive difference maker. So here's Rigsby. Rigsby with a single in the second. He's 1 for 2. Harrell's going to bounce that one in the dirt. 1-1 count. Say, Tuscola is going to be down to their final 3 outs here in the 7th inning. If Harrell's able to put away Rigsby here. Ground ball down the third baseline under the glove of Fama. I think we're going to give Rigsby a hit on this as he motors for second. There's a play, and he is, they call him safe at second. Coach Shepard, Zach Shepard, is going to call time, and he's just waiting to get out there and question the umpire about, did he switch his mind? He changed his mind. He's out. Okay, so it's a single for Rigsby, and he's thrown out. That is 7-4 on the put out. Throwing him out is the left fielder. That's Omsler out there with the outfield assist. Whoa. So I guess, was he just going to stay in position there until the umpire realized that he had slid into the glove?
I guess.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that's what happened. I think he called him safe, but was giving him the visual like, look, he's on top of my glove. I think that's what happened. So good job to the umpire to self-correct. That's all that matters, getting the calls right. But I'll put it that I haven't seen Zach Shepard move that fast, and I don't know. So
Ladies and gentlemen,
clock is 60 speed on that. Say coach running like a 6'4" out there to get ready to argue. Might have to give him a little bit of ribbon on that one later. All right. Heading into the top of the 7th, it is Mason Harrell, Ian Omsler, and Sean Gillian, the last hope. The last hope for Tuscola. And maybe you're looking at your last hope to get your taxes done because you're past the April 15th date. So I want to shout out our 7th inning sponsor, Hale Tax Solutions. They've been in business since 1997, former IRS agents, and they know the system's complexities very well. So if you still need to get your taxes done, do an extension, or you need help with any bookkeeping, consulting, or representation at federal audits or state audits, then give Hale Tax Solutions International a call at 828-435-6082. And here we go. Final inning. Zach Wester locked in. He's at 72 pitches at the start of this inning. Plenty of rope for the young man. Very controlled pitch count. Extremely efficient tonight. Swing and a line drive up the middle, and that does it, folks. I had tried to say nothing about it to not jinx it. That is the first hit of the game for Tuscola. So no hitter broken up at the very top of the inning. First batter. Much like the Orioles and the Indians last night that went into the ninth inning, and Leody Tavares was able to break up the no-hitter versus the Guardians with the first pitch of the top of the ninth. So Mason Harrell breaking up his counterpart's no-hitter. And even if Tuscola is unable to win this game, I know he's going to enjoy that little bragging right over his Haywood County counterpart. But tying run is at the plate now in Anna Omsler. We have got ourselves a nail-biter officially. Because again, I know it was only 2-0, but with no hits, I thought Wester's in control, you know? So we'll see how he finishes out, especially with that pitch count still being very manageable. Misses high here, falls behind 2-0, and the young man needs to take a breath. And we will see our first Ion Outdoors mound visit by Coach Shepard so he can give that break to his pitcher. So again, Ion Outdoors located down in the foothills, I believe Gaston County. They do beautiful work on pools, outdoor patios, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, grayscaping. So if you got a backyard dream, Ion Outdoors can make it come true. So get with Ion Outdoors and mention the broadcast, and they'll sit you down for a free consultation and pool design. How about that? So Omsler ahead of, or Wester behind in the count to Omsler, 2-0. Sean Gilliam on deck.
No, I swear it was 3-0.
And man, I'll tell you, no hit him all the way to the top of the seventh. There was that walk. So Harold's been the thorn, and at Wester's side takes the walk in the fourth to break up the perfect game, which you scolded me for. But we're erased immediately on the double play. And then here in the seventh, Harold leads off with the single. So Harold making up all the offense for Tuscola so far this evening. That is ball 4 to Omsler's second walk of the game issued by Wester. And now the go-ahead run comes to the plate in Sean Gillian. The most important run right now is Omsler down at first base, so we'll be keeping an eye on him for sure. So Rigsby up on the grass at first base. Landon right, about even with the bag. There is a bunt. It is down the first base side, but foul. So I guess the plan here is to get that tying run and score in position for August Fama, the cleanup hitter. Woo, man. Temperature's dropping, but the heat is rising on the field here. And this 2-0 rivalry game. Conference title on the line here. Yes, he did. So Boone Carver able to scoop that after Gilliam tried to bunt that ball, which that slider dipped down into the dirt. Came back up looking to shoot down to second base for the pick, but nice job out there by Harold to hold up. So Gilliam have to try to get a job done now here. 0-2 pops it up, first base side, over by the dugout. Rigsby makes the catch for out number 1 in foul territory. 2 more outs to work with. Now Fama struck out both times. He's been to the plate. Fama, good-looking athlete, still raw, still learning some aspects of the game, but he looks the part. He's going to have to try to make some contact here. Although I will say a ground ball, that could be the end of the game. So if he's going to put this ball in play, he better be quick out the box if it's on the ground. There's a fastball on the bottom of the zone. That's strike 1, 1-1. Again, this next pitch will be pitch number 80 for Zach Wester. Curveball darts outside. And this, Zach has got to trust his stuff here. He's been getting ahead all night by throwing it in the zone. So don't be afraid to pitch to contact here. You got to trust your fielders. They turned a double play earlier for you today. Fouled off here by Gillian, and that's over into the middle school field. So 2-2. Now what you got? 2-2. So twos are the count. I'll tell you, if he throws a good curveball here, that could be it. I don't think he went. I will say, it's a good call. I did not see the hands break on that. However, I don't think he needs to bury it here. I think he needs to go back to that curveball on the outside corner. It seems to be stunning those Mountaineers all evening as these curveball for a strike. So again, Rigsby in on the grass. Oh, and he misses high on the fastball here. So ball 4. Zach Wester is making it interesting here for these Mountaineers these Pisgah Bears, trying to not clinch the conference, but essentially put themselves at the top of the standings to control their own destiny with this win. So they got they got 1 run to really play with here as Eli Freeman comes to the plate. So Coach Shepard communicating something to his catcher, Boone Carver there. Zach looks like he's going to work from the stretch. Again, they have a run to work with, so I think you can keep those. Yep, they do keep the middle in double play debt. Goes that curveball, misses low. So got some drama here in Haywood County. So late inning baseball here, top of the 7th. Curveball is fouled off. So 1-1 count. Again, Wester threw 28 pitches on Wednesday in their win over Smoky Mountain. Had to come in and help close that game out. Pitch count right now at 91, so shooting up quickly here. So he's only got so many pitches to work with until they got to pull him anyway. Fastball misses up and out. Again, faithful Bears fans wanted that call. Looked like it may have been up. 2-1 delivery. Oh! So Freeman checks his swing. However, Carver and Wester thought that curveball was in for a strike. So again, it wasn't an argument of whether it was a swing, it was whether it was in the strike zone. There's a strike. That's a good call. So again, I don't necessarily disagree with any of the umpires' calls here. If I did, it was probably the pitch before that one. But that's a strike. It has been all night. So 3-2 count here. Action pitch. Swing and a line drive center field. 1 run is in. Mintz picks it up. Throw coming in from center field as cut off. This game is tied. So you can tell you got both sides of the county in attendance tonight. A lot of noise coming from that Tuscola side. Mason Harrell starts this inning by breaking up the no-hitter. Ian Omsler takes a walk. There's the put out of Gillian, Fama walks, and then Eli Freeman comes through with a 2 RBI shot to center field. And now Landry Webb to the plate. Go-ahead run is out there at third base, still only 1 out. Zach Wester's pitch count at 95. Now the young sophomore is Landry Webb. Pickoff attempt here at first. So first and third here, it'd be interesting to see what Coach Shepard wants to break out for first and third offense. See if he tries to send the runner Freeman. Oh, it's a bunt. It's going to be a safety squeeze. Tosses home, he is safe. And that ball goes out to right field. That allows Freeman to get to third base. August Fama scores to go ahead 3-2. Landry Webb with the RBI safety squeeze. Actually, I guess that was suicide squeeze. Was he off on the play? So, yeah, it's a straight-up squeeze play. We're going to give him a fielder's choice as the throw came home, but it's an RBI. Or does that go down as a sack? How does that work with a squeeze?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Is this my phone?
Number 3, Jones.
So Wester dealing here, and they're going to do it again. So that's Jonas Jones trying to replicate the same dang thing. And yes, a squeeze is a sack bunt, so no at-bat charge to Landry Webb there. Holy moly, what a turn of events here in the 7th inning. One of the most exciting games of the year. Tuscola refusing to give up.
Go back to game changer. It's an app.
Timeout called here by Jones. Jones 0 for 2. Again, the Harrell single, the Omsler walk, Fama walks with 1 out. The bases are loaded. Freeman, Eli Freeman with the big 2 RBI single. That's Landry Webb going to steal second base there. So that's a Hauling Solutions and Grading stolen base. Jonas Jones trying to keep this inning alive. He's got 2 runners out there in scoring position, still with only 1 out. Again, Zach Wester had a no-hitter all the way into the 7th. That ball's going to get to the backstop. That's going to allow another run to score. So Eli Freeman comes in to score the 4th run. Now it's Tuscola with the 2-run lead. Webb's going to move up on the wild pitch. And Coach Shepard with a long walk out there, because I think we're at pitch count 99 pitches for Wester. Again, only 1 out in this inning. Jonas Jones still at the plate. Coach Zach Shepard calling his guys in, trying to keep them focused, trying to make them realize you still need to finish this game. They're the ones scoring the Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance runs at the moment. But he's trying to tell them, you're the ones that got to finish this game. This inning isn't over, so don't think about next inning just yet. How are we going to get this next run in? And then they're going to have to go out there and play the half inning of their life to try to finish this out. Because if Tuscola can pull this off, this makes the Mountain 8 a very interesting narrative for the rest of the season as far as who's going to take this conference title. So again, 1-2 count. Wester's still in there. Got about 5 more pitches to work with. Swing and a foul ball off into the night. Ooh, boy, definitely getting a little chilly here. So Wester's pitched great tonight. Strikes out Jones here. That's his 11th strikeout of the game. And he's got enough pitches for 1 more batter. And then these Pisgah Bears are going to try to get into that dugout and put an offensive plan together to either win, extend, or win this game, now down 2. So Cameron Hall up for a 3rd time. Hall's popped out foul and struck out the senior DH. Again, he's hitting, or designated hitter for the second baseman, Bryson Matthews. First pitch is a curveball, swing and a miss. Zach Wester moving quickly here. Goes right back to the curveball. Ball looks overmatched by that curveball, so I'm thinking Wester probably goes to it again, or he's going to dot the corner with the fastball, so we'll see. There's the fastball, grounded, foul towards that Pisgah bench. I think he should probably just gone back to that curveball. He's done got a lot of legs in this swing, so I think if you dot that curveball in the outside corner, you'll probably get the same result as those first two. Yep, strike three. So Zach Wester is able to finish the inning, but he'll be done for the game if they end up going into extras. So we'll give you a final line on Wester here in a second. So again, that's baseball, folks. You go into the seventh inning, a no-hitter. First batter of the inning, Mason Harrell, is able to Mason Harrell is able to get that hit to end the no-hit bid, and now he's going out there trying to win this game.
Do you have an error that inning?
No, just the wild pitch. And then there's a throw that went down the first base line, so that might be an error to allow. No, I don't think that error allowed the next run to come down.
Is it an error, though?
I don't think it was an error. It was just the wild pitch. Oh, boy. So here we're going to have 9-1-2. It'll be, wrong page. Nope, it is 9-1-2. Jackson Lehman, and then back to the top with Maddox Wright, Braden Surratt. So all those runs, I think, are technically earned. So I think the final line is 7 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. So Jackson Lehman coming up here for these Bears, down 2 runs, down 4-2. He's going to square to bunt here. Pulls back, ball 1. And Mason Harrell trying to finish this game out. We got new plays of the game. We're probably going to have a new player of the game than where our mind was half an inning ago. Harrell goes to that curveball, drops it in there for strike 2. So again, Mason Harrell gave up that 2-run homer to Boone Carver, and that's the only damage done against the young man. He has stayed locked in this whole game. So got to give it to the young man, Harrell, the Rockingham commit, the ace of this Tuscola Mountaineers team, for staying composed. He's got ice in his veins. And again, that's something that's hard to teach, is that kind of composure. So again, Zach Wester with the high 8s, the 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Mason may have hit 80, may have barely hit 80 today. He's been working on the high 7s, but with that beautiful changeup and the high spin curveballs, shows you there's a lot more to pitching than velo sometimes. And Harrell's going to be a great one to track through the JUCO route. He's going to be playing for post 70 Asheville as well. Oh, wow. I thought that was just a ball, but they say that clipped his helmet. So now the Bears are going to send the tying run to the plate. So we are not done yet. I don't even know what to do with this player of the game card I'm holding in my hand, because I don't want to fill it out. Every time I get ready to, something crazy happens here in Haywood County.
I just put in a whole play of the game, and now I just put in a second whole play of the game, and we might have a third one.
Now, if I were Harrell, I'd be going back to that changeup here. He's been using that changeup to pull the string on right all game. Again, Wright was able to keep his hands back on one and hit a single, but for the most part, been looking tough on those changeups. Pick throw here, safe. Back at first is Lehman. Oh boy. What a game we have here in Haywood County. Runner goes, throw down by Jonas. He is safe under the tag is Lehman. Nice throw by Jones, but even better jump by Lehman as a hauling and solutions and grading. Stolen base. I think it's the fifth stolen base for Pisgah today. So again, 5 stolen bases. Maddox Wright up at the plate now. He's got that 1-2 count. He's choking up on that bat. Swing and a miss. He went back to that changeup, and it is a killer one. So 1 out. Braden Surratt. Braden 1 for 3. Also lined out sharply to the shortstop in the 5th inning. Leadoff single in the first. He was on board for, or excuse me, 1 out single in the first. He was on board for Boone Carver's home run. And that's it for Mason Harrell because pitch count just reached the maximum. So Sean Gillian going to have to come into this game and try to close it out. So my, oh my, how things are unfolding here in Haywood County. So Mason Harrell is going to work 6 1/3 before reaching his pitch count. We'll give you his final line here. Gave 2 runs, both earned on the home run. Harrell walks, how many walks? 1. Only 1 walk, but the 2 hit batters, I believe. How many hits for Pisgah tonight? 5 hits allowed. And strikeouts for Harrell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Ks. Now, he's in line for the win if it holds this way. Now Sean Gillian, the senior, we saw him pitch a little bit down in Shelby versus Chase in that Easter tournament. And again, tie and run will be coming to the plate in Braden Surratt. Trying to start to tabulate a few totals here without getting too ahead of myself either.
Now coming to the plate, number 10, Braden Surratt.
Surratt, he's working on a 1 for 3 evening. Here's Gillian. It's ball outside. Oh, what a good baseball game we have here. 4-2. Again, Tuscola storming back in the top of the 7th. Fouls that baseball right back in the netting in front of us. Again, Gillian, tall, lanky, athletic senior. Oh, that ball's going to get away from Jones. It's going to bounce back to the backstop here, and that allows Lehman to move up on the wild pitch. I don't know. It might have been a pass ball. What do you think? I think that could have been caught, maybe. I might say pass ball. You let me know what you think. So that run, about 90 feet away. Again, that is not the tying run, but still need that one first. Surratt is the tying run. 2-2 count. Gillian delivers. Oh, they're going to say did not come set. They're going to call Gillian on the balk. That's going to bring Lehman in to score the third run for Pisgah. Again, that's a balk rule where, again, you young kids waiting at home to get up to the high school level, you have to come set. You have to stop any sort of pre-pitch movement as you come set. So Gillian, the umpire determined, did not come set after that bouncing movement that allows Lehman to score on the balk. But the Bears still got to get another rally going here. The tying run is at the plate. They got to get that run on base. So Coach Zach Shepard's still out there getting the explanation. So drama in the air. The county clash is getting noisy. 4-3 is the score. Again, Surratt, the tying run, takes ball 3 low. Again, the senior, big part of this Pisgah Bears team. Scrappy ball player. Gives you good innings on the bump, too. He's trying to make some senior memories here. Just fouls this one off, staying alive. I see Game Changer did not change the pitcher, so in their book it's 115 pitches for Harold, but that is inaccurate. Say whoever's doing Game Changer probably just chucked it to the side. Is like, no. Ground ball with a little bit of English. Is it coming back? Foul. So that ball had a little bit of English on it, or as I like to call it, Esperanto. Full count here. Again, both these dugouts starting to get a little bit more rambunctious, trying to rally on their side, rally their black and gold or their black and red, their variation. Ground ball to shortstop, picked up by Landry Webb, throws across. Oh! So routine ground ball, E6. I'm going to put that on the fielder. Webb did not step up into that throw. It looked like he was trying to be a little too careful. That ball bounces to Rigsby, bounces to, I guess that's Harrell over there. So now the tying run on board. Now bring who I've considered one of the best hitters in Western North Carolina to plate. His hit list tonight, he did reach on an error and steal base in the 5th. But boy, oh boy, I can't take the drama. So this is our last broadcast of the week. Next one will be next Wednesday, so we're going to need a 4-day break after this. That ball down the right field line. That ball's down. Isaiah Mitz puts that ball in play. Surratt had a late jump. He's not going to be able to score. He's going to stop with third. So again, Surratt trying to get a read on that ball as they left the bat. It's a double for Mintz. Surratt all the way to third base. The Pisgah Bears, they got a different type of energy this year. They are refusing to lose. They're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Boone Carver. Maybe a wise choice. And that's going to bring Landon, the Price is Right, to the plate. Wearing the lucky 13, he's going to go ahead and step into the plate and try to play the hero. And I might just let the crowd take it from here. Infield is in.
Wow.
Here's the pitch from Gillian. Ball low. So again, that's Braden Surratt down there at third base.
That's the ball, let's go.
Again, Gillian does his multi-pump. Ooh, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, went to that curveball. So again, 4-3, tying run at third, winning run at second. Landon Wright, the batter, takes that curveball low. Good take by Wright. Again, Wright 0 for 3. Struck out twice, flew out to left field in the third inning. Good take. Wright seems to be seeing that curveball pretty well out of the hand of Gillian, able to keep his hands back, his weight centered, not out in that front foot. Nice job by Gillian coming right back with the fastball, though. So 3-2 is the count. Right, he's got to get set here. Big pitch coming. 3-2 delivery. Strike 3 on the corner. Got him looking. So Burlett Painting called strike 3. Looked like a strike based on what we've seen tonight. I mean, you hear the jeers, you hear the disagreement from the Pisgah faithful, but from where we're sitting in the game we've been watching all night, that looked like strike 3. So Coach Zach Shepard going to take an Ion Outdoors pitching mound visit, trying to make sure that his crew is completely locked in here with this 4-3 lead. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Again, that's Surratt down there at third base, a very, very valuable base runner right now. The only one that really matters at the moment. Once he scores, then Mince's run counts that much more. But first, we got to find a way to get Surratt in. And this is Zane Wilson to the plate.
Number 9, Zane Wilson.
Zane 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, stole a base in this game. Trying to be the Ohio hero for the Pisgah Bears tonight. Say from Canton, Ohio to Canton, North Carolina. Not sure if he's from Canton, Ohio, but pitch from from Gillian's popped up. Fama is over, and he makes the catch. Game is over. Tuscola wins. What a comeback victory for the Mountaineers. Say they don't even know how to celebrate. They are freaking out over there. A half inning ago, it was a no-hit bid. A half inning later, it's Tuscola with the upset victory over the first place Pisgah Bears. A game to remember. The Haywood County Clash ends with a victory by the Mountaineers. I think we got to give it to Eli Freeman for that clutch hit. I don't know. All right, well, we're going to start tabulating some box scores here and try to figure out who the heck is going to be our player of the game. We'll see what Hunter chose for next level play of the game. He's done edited it up like 10 times. We might just say blip it. Just roll. But we'll let it calm down for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and read these tallies to you.
This ain't just another paper town, it's the one that I call home. This ain't just another paper town, it's the one that I call home.
All right. Let's start with. Hold on, I'm still tabulating a little bit.
Woo, man, what a game. I feel like I haven't said a word in.
You've been editing. You've been doing a lot of editing. Okay, here we go. Let's start with the Pisgah side. So Maddox Wright was 1 for 4. Surratt 1 for 4, scored a run. Isaiah Mintz 1 for 4, had that double, stole a base. Boone Carver 1 for 2 with the 2-run homer. He had a stolen base, hit by pitch, and a walk. Landon Wright 0 for 4. Zane Wilson 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch, stolen base. Zach Wester 0 for 3. Owen Rigsby 2 for 3. And then Jackson Lehman 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch, a walk, a run, and a stolen base. Harrell earns the win. So he sticks around long enough to be the victor. 6 in the third inning. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, had 10 Ks and a walk. Gillian technically earns the save. So again, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. He earns the save. Harrell with a great outing on the bump. They had to remove him because of pitch count. Let's take you through the Tuscola side of the box scores here. Mason Harrell, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run. Big hit by Harrell there in the 7th to break up the no-hitter as well. Ian Omsler, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. Sean Gillian, 0 for 3 at the plate. August Fama, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. Eli Freeman, 1 for 3 with that big 2 RBI single, and then he's the one that plated the run that went ahead on the safety squeeze. Landry Webb, 0 for 2 with the safety squeeze RBI, and he also stole a base. Jonas Jones, 0 for 3. Cameron Hall, 0 for 3. And Elijah Hampton, 0 for 2. Wester worked all 7 innings, gave up only 2 hits, 4 runs, all ended up being earned. 3 walks, 12 Ks. Hunter, who is the player of the game?
Who is it? Yeah, man.
I think I'm going to have to go with Eli Freeman because of the moment, right? Bases loaded, backs against the wall, pressure's on. You know, I'm going to bring Mason Harrell out. We're definitely going to interview Mason, but I'm going to go with the clutch moment. We're going to go with Eli Freeman. Eli, number 5, the senior right fielder. May not look like the most amazing line, but 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And then that run scored on that safety squeeze. So he accounted for those 3 runs that put him ahead. Again, Pisgah or Tuscola, Pisgah able to get another run there in the inning. But it's that 2 RBI single that's able to put them up. So, wow. Or no, Freeman scored on the wild pitch is what it was. And then, no. It was Fama that scored on the wild pitch. Freeman, I think, came across on the – let me double check this here. So, again, Harold Omsler, Fama walks. Freeman hits the 2 RBI single. Fama comes home on the wild pitch, I believe, and then Freeman on the sac bunt. So, anyway, holy moly. I think that's what we're going with.
Well, let's give them the Next Level Play of the Game. Next Level Baseball is proud to bring you the Next Level Play of the Game, the only showcase organization in Western North Carolina endorsed by Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Coach Rick DeArmas does a great job developing culture and creating play development opportunities for youth players of all ages. Now, here's your Next Level Play of the Game. I think you're going to like it.
It is.
It is.
I was going to be 15
squeeze
different.
play.
No, I would say I was about 15 different things. So squeezes on, a little bit of a safety. Wester tries to do the shovel pass. And, maybe that was an error because that did allow the runner to go up to third there. So, bunts it, perfect bunt by Webb. Well, not perfect, but for the intention of a safety squeeze. Wester, with the noble effort, tries to shovel the ball home. Again, I think that was that the 4th run to score? Or
that was the third run to score.
So, again, that was Fama then that scored on it. Then it must have been Freeman that scored on the wild pitch. Sorry, guys. A game like that, when it's just the 2 of us and there's nobody to stand behind and do the book and all, my, oh, my. Well,
go get out
Cam
there.
Wood and, hey, again, thank you, Cam Wood. We got these new bats to finally give out today, and they look beautiful. So we're going to go find Eli and have a conversation with him, and I'll let Hunter go ahead and do the readout in the meantime.
Well, thank you to the following businesses who are home team sponsors tonight, supporting the time put towards marketing this game to college coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Pisgah Bear prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media. Appreciate 828 Service Group, Prince Boat Docks, as well as WNC C10 Shop. I want to also thank the following businesses who are away team sponsors this evening, supporting the time put towards marketing this game to college coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Tuscola Mountaineer prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media. Thank you to Catalucci Dental, Intuitive Business Solutions, as well as the Waynesville Howlers. Appreciate all of them for being our home and away team sponsors this evening. I want to thank all our sponsors, starting with Meineke, Bloom Patch Farms, Comfort Keepers, American Legion Post 70, Nova X Kinectics, Stepp Electrical Solutions, Goodicedtea, House of Power, Peak Performance Vault, Ion Outdoors, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, Granning Landscapes Incorporated, Hauling Solutions and Grading, Burlett Painting, Kenwood Bats, and Next Level Baseball. For the best coverage and content of Western North Carolina baseball, visit our Patreon over at patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. Here you'll find preseason and playoff predictions, power rankings, players of the week, podcast, highlight films, and much more. Membership start at $1, and all the money raised stays right here in Western North Carolina. Support Mountain Baseball, as well as stay connected on social media with Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Like and subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/@bbuniversitywNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram at BB University WNC. And check out the website at baseballu.org.
Yeah, it is baseball. I'm not mad about that.
Stay tuned for the Kenwood Bats Player of the Game interview and some other interviews as well post-game. Well, Kenwood Bats is located in Haywood County, but serves baseball and softball players across the nation. Game Bats trainers teach tutorials and more available for purchase at CanwoodBats.com. As part of our partnership with Kenwood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through their website. Now here's Ryan with the Kenwood Bats Player of the Game.
I love it. I got Mason Harrell here, and what his comment just was is it encapsulates what this is. You're like, tell me the questions first. I'm like, dude, I make them up just like you're gonna make up your answers. So, known you for a while. I've always been a fan of yours. You know, Zach throws a pretty good fastball, but you know, here you come out and you do your thing. You're the spin doctor, and that changeup tonight was filthy. I don't even want to bring up the names of the hitters that you baffled with it, but. Let's start at the beginning. How did Coach Shepard get you guys prepared for this game after that 12-0 shellacking on Tuesday? So how did the vibe change?
I mean, he just told us that who cares? The loss is over. Let's come in here Friday, be ready to battle. And we showed up. It was a little late. Would have been nice if we showed up a little earlier, but we still pulled out the W. So
you got ice water in your veins, man. I've always noticed that about you. You don't really seem to get rattled much. So the 2-run homer by Boone, you know, take it from there. What's your mentality? How do you stay composed and finish that game like you did?
Mistake.
What's the feeling in the dugout after that? That'll be the last question. Just that, as far as I mean, it's 104-year rivalry, right? So I think you guys have been hearing this your whole life, yes. Right? So that moment, Fama catches the ball. Go ahead.
Ain't nothing better than it. It's like, I mean, it's almost like a walk-off, just we were on the road. That's the only sad part about it. But I mean, it's always hot in there.
Well,
we're rivalry game. It's gonna be good. There's no question about it.
The county clash, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right. Clash. So Sean Gillian comes in. I'm gonna bring him in next. Seems like he could pitch in college. What do you think?
I think he could.
Yeah?
He wants to.
Let's find out. It's good to see you again, buddy. Hey, handshake real quick.
Hey, cool.
You get one.
Thank you.
And then Mr. Gillian. Good to see you, buddy. You didn't think you were going to be getting that ball, did you?
Honestly, not. I was pretty at the start of the game. I was pretty confident in Mason. I thought he had this. I thought he had it in the bag, and then he just ran out of pitches. Yep. And so Shepard came up to me, and he was just like, "He's got 9 pitches. If you go in, I'm gonna need you to just shut it down."
So where, like, not just you, but just as a young man in general, like when something like that is popped on top of you, it's like, oh dang, I gotta go in and pitch here. This is the biggest game of the year. Where's your brain go? Like, do you?
I'm locked. I'm always locked in, especially because like, and my confidence would blow. Especially in a game like this, like you can't be embarrassed. You can't. Like, you have to be locked in. You have to know what you're doing. That's just I told Shep that. So I went out there and I showed him I could do it.
Now you got a good pitcher's frame. Seen you around for a couple years now. You're a senior though. It's getting late. What's college recruiting looking like? Is that something you still want to ponder a little bit?
I would love to go to college. I've just switching a family right now. Gives me a shot. If not, I'll do something better with my life.
Let me get with Shep and we'll talk. But junior college seems to make sense for a lot of people right now. Anything you want to study in particular, a career path?
Like a business management degree and go off in the world.
You don't have to answer this yet, but what's the GPA? We got to talk about it later. It's all good.
I mean, it's not like terribly low, but I mean, like it was just some classes I struggled with. I was never the smartest.
What? First, I'm trying to tell you, it's great intelligence. It's a lot of spirituality, time management. But here's the thing. He stays. Yep, it was good talking.
Yes,
nice job on the save.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in tonight's hero. Well, you're all heroes, but man, you get the first Cam Wood bat. Mitchell Whitener coming through. I got to go. To that final.
Just put the ball in play somewhere. I've been in a slump for the past 5-6 games, and I just wanted to put the ball in play and score some runs, get RBIs.
Simple enough that you hear this playing, good things happening. Boy, did it ever. So hit the pay dirt. Where was your emotions?
I don't know.
it's can't be put into words. You can
the third and came in on the wild pitch.
Okay, so third run, the go ahead run comes ahead.
We've done this all year. We start off cold in the start of the game, and then we turn up in the 7th inning and win the game.
What did Shep say to you guys when he got you out here? Out there on the fence line.
Like we got walked off 3 times this year, and I mean he just basically said to face the adversity where it comes and finish the game out.
Refuse to lose. Feel bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot different than any other baseball game to me.
Ambitions are right now. You want to do it?
Yeah, I still want to do it.
You gonna give me a call?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you
a call. I'll get with Shep.
All
right. Still looking junior college route. We'll say this: it's trophy bats. So if barreled up, it'll blow up. So put it up on the wall. All right. I'm going to sign it off to Hunter. He's going to do the readout. We're going to get you guys on the bus after we get a picture of you. Nice job, buddy. All right, Hunter, send it back to you.
Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, thanks you for tuning in to the West North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series from Canton, North Carolina, along the banks of the Pigeon River. This has been coverage of West North Carolina high school baseball, where the Tuscola Mountaineers defeat the Pisgah Bears by a score of 4-3. For Ryan Cook, I'm Hunter Street, wishing you a good night.